Hi. Yeah, hello. Hello, hello, hello. So, some message is a very good reference to a very good song. Is Vampire Psychiatrist. Is that the Frontier Psychiatrist or something similar? Because that's all I got. Sorry. Comrade, you're alive. I'm so glad you're alive. It's been a while. Also. Hello. So, hey, nice. There you go. I know Luxie is specifically triggered by the lack of uniformity between the viewers number, the alert box thing, well, like the alert box ticker. Or say, Vampire Psychiatry. Yeah, actually, that's fucking great. Good job. Good job. Yeah. Because, like, she did threaten to come in here and fix it. And, like, that's great. But too bad we were getting updates about A Baby instead. Suck it, nerds. I guess is the full statement on that one. Hey, look at me, post Fenno. I'm alive. Were the fonts so different? Because they let me do it. That's it. Like, I could change it and probably should. Okay, hold on. Like, Luxie did threaten to fix it. She didn't. Again, she's busy. This is my cool Fenno mug from this year. It's a very soft pale green. There's also a very soft pale blue version that I do not have. I gave it away. All widgets. Web box, chat box, that's fine. What do I want? The event list. The font. There's a lot of fonts. See, that's the part of the problem, man. Which one? Yeah, you haven't had the opportunity. I haven't either. Yes, yes. So what font is the one up top? What we're currently using? That's a question. Yes. Exports and assets. No, that's not working. Where did I put you bastard? Wait. Wait. Where did I put these animations, huh? Okay, box border, grab that. Properties, where are you? Use that to get here. Oh, it's in roaming. Okay. Oops. It's roaming out data. Never mind. Now. So. The text. Oh, wait, no. That text is mine. Okay, I can change that. Properties. You are Palatino Linotype Regular. Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry. Your internet is being crappy? The blur is not... No, that wouldn't. Palatino Linotype Regular. So let's try and find that here. Oh, I got Palanquin. This is what happens if I change it to Palanquin. Huh? And then, like... That's not better. That's worse, isn't it? That's actually... It's not fine. What if I change this to Palanquin? No, that's terrible. We don't want to... We can just keep looking until we find one that has the same font that I don't hate. That's another one. Actor. What's actor? Could just be like, use Arial. Could just use Arial. You have Arial? You don't have Arial. You're mean, Albert Sans. Huh. So that's pretty good. I don't hate that. If I change that to Arial. Oh, it's much worse. Cancel. Sorry. I like the way it currently looks. Less fucking with the overlays, right? Could probably make it less. I literally can't make it not all caps. It's definitely chat, that's for sure. Now, view account. That's something I could fix probably pretty easily. Patrick Hand. That one's terrible. What about Acme? Huh. I don't even strictly know what a serif is. I've looked it up a few times, but I have this thing that makes it really hard to see what it actually is or remember. That's terrible. Elif. All of these look the same, I gotta tell you. That's way worse. What if I... Go on. Yeah. You can also make it blend into the background more. Huh, now I can't see it at all. The fancy pointy bits on the left. Why would you not have the fancy pointy bits? They're the best parts. That looks like shit. We're back to white. There you go. Okay, enough. No more. Life scene. Playing a video game. Let's go. Let's continue time. I mean, like, I could continue talking as well. I'm looking forward to playing more Vampire Therapist, but Comrade's got a point. It's time for more video game. I have... Oh my god. I tried to buy a fucking car. Not only do they not make that car anymore, they straight up don't make they don't make anything in that color anymore. And I really wanted that color. You may be able to tell, I kind of like dark green. Anyway. In a very un-Jimbles sense, I wrote a very long complaint, and I meant it. I meant every word of it. And now I'm left bereft trying to figure out what the hell I do again. Let us continue.
I know for a fact that vampires become misanthropic as they age. I do not need your perspective.
Whoa. Kind of sounds like always right to me.
And now hold on, you ain't always right. You thinking we're gonna turn into misanthropes is limiting you from making new vampires, but that's just your thinking.
Very good, my dear Samuel. Caution is warranted when bringing a new soul into the dark, but I must consider perspectives other than my own. I have not had much good fortune with my children of darkness, but I am indeed not the only judge of character.
Huh.
You got kids, Andy?
Oh dear. The children of darkness, the aforementioned ones.
I had many dark children before I recognized the gravity inherent in doing so.
There you go. Quite literally said that.
I only wish more of my brethren could learn what a responsibility it is to begin the unlife of another. I know the internet is a passing fad. I have seen technology come and go, so I can trust my own expertise.
Sorry. And that's leagues better than it was last week. I actually feel pretty fine.
I think you're doing a little always right there, Andy. A lot of folks had unwavering confidence that the fax machine was gonna stick around forever, but they weren't right neither.
Very funny.
Truly, I still use my fax machine. It is the preferred mode of communication among vampires here in Germany.
Heck, I guess that just proves no one is always right about technology. I think I get it, boss. If I had found folks to listen to other than myself, maybe I wouldn't have joined up with Ernie's gang.
Perhaps
not.
You had plenty of reasons for making the choices you made. Reflecting on them is what helps us to grow.
quite like this mug. It's not huge, so it won't be one of my favorite mugs, but I will show it off because we are post-Fano and I am alive, and that's impressive enough. Oh, I got a button to turn off the AI, as the UI. That's great. Boop. You can see their legs. I got them. My game went really well.
Yeah, I'm a lucky fellow all in all. I did some stuff with those vampires that I was pretty sure erased any humanity I had left, but I was wrong.
I've yet to like write up my entire con experience, though I really want to. In short, my game went really, really, really well. My assertion that these are the best characters I've ever written was proven out to be at least partially correct, given how deeply many people connected to them and told me. And told each other. Like, honestly, it was the number of times that I overheard people talking about it when I was sneaking around, or sneaking, just at the pub. Or how many times people are like, hey, I was just talking to X about Y and I wanted to ask. Yeah, I can give you a lot, an entire con experience. You should get as much as you can from Member Stitches, who's currently on the couch, right? That's a good one. And then anything more from me. All I can say is that even from, like, while, of course, Friday night immediately made me go, I'm back, baby. You can't keep me away. I love it here. Let's go. And I was hyped the whole time. Even over the whole weekend, no matter how tired I got, I was still like, I'm glad to be here. I am glad I made this commitment. It was yesterday and today where I was just so fucking tired and burnt out. Not helped by Baby K's terrible night's sleep late Monday night, so while still drunk and or hungover at 3 in the morning, I was shushing a baby back to sleep. Poor Baby K. Anyway, great fucking con, looking forward to more. The games I played, awesome. The teams I was with, awesome. The games I ran, also awesome. Pretty good, that's for sure. The players generally make it, but they kept saying, like... I got this really, really good quote. As I've said in the private group chat, I got the highest praise possible from one of the known misanthropes of the con, who's like, this is actually a very well-written character sheet, and I think you've done pretty well. And then he immediately started criticizing, but that's a full compliment for that guy. That's perfect. And the criticisms were, it's too long and you could edit it down. I could get this down to 4 pages. As much as you like it, I know that the quote at the beginning of the character sheet does nothing. Yeah, well, okay. Once again, that is just your opinion, man. Because other people are like, man, I love those quotes you put at the beginning. That's really important. And I'm going to do it for every fucking character. You get a minute where I can pretentiously have you read out a bit of poetry, song lyrics, or... section from a book? I'm gonna do it. You know I'm gonna do it. And 3 of them are gonna be from Caligula's Horse, which is kind of showing my hand a little bit. Oops. Anyway, let's go.
Them transcendentalists I hold up with were ready to help me no matter how nasty I was.
And I like it too.
And I know I've done a lot of thinking on my own, but I owe them everything.
I've done a lot of thinking on my own, but I owe them everything. Is that so, Samuel? Can you point out your own distortion there?
Disqualifying the positive.
It's my old favorite sneaking up on me, disqualifying the positive. I did plenty of work on myself.
That's right, buddy. And much like I always do, I had an absolutely fantastic time at the pub, because wandering around and asking people about that con, how it went, and like to please put feedback into the feedback form and give me game ideas while you're all hyped up and excited for the con, while getting progressively more and more drunk. Fucking fantastic time. I loved it. Brilliant. And not just because some of my favorite orgs are finally letting their hair down and relaxing for the first bit of time all weekend. So they go a bit nuts, and that's fantastic.
That's right, Samuel. And why were the transcendentalists able to help you? We just went over it tonight.
Because Samuel was open to it. I wasn't always right.
I realized I wasn't always right. I was ready to start receiving help.
Excellent, Samuel. Your capacity for self-reflection, and so quickly, is truly inspiring. I almost feel as though my blood is circulating on its own.
So excited.
Oh, come on, Andy. I'm just a fella.
You have earned a reprieve from disqualifying the positive, my friend. Embrace it. I believe we have had a productive session today. Let us not press matters. This is difficult work, and you are handling it wonderfully. How do you feel?
You know, I feel okay. Somehow it's better than feeling good. What happened is what happened. Some bad stuff happened to me, and I did some bad stuff. And none of it lasts forever. That's the nice thing about having all the time in the world.
Your trials have made you wise indeed, my dear Samuel. Now rest, my friend. You shall soon share your wisdom with your clients. I wish you a good night.
Yeah, I believe it's early coffin time for me tonight. Have a good night, Andy.
You as well, Samuel. Rest in peace.
What a sweet little game. How cute is it? You may not have seen via VODs. Yeah, exactly, right? It's such an enjoyable accent, too.
Samuel, greetings. You look a bit pale. May I offer you something to drink?
I'm using my cool new controller because I've got it wireless. It also reaches my computer from the living room. So I'm going to stream my computer to the living room, which is a very cool thing. I could just chill. It's so nice.
Yeah, you got any drinker's blood?
I know you are joking. You will not dilute your blood before a session.
You will not dilute. Well, hello. So much wireless lag. Weirdly enough, no. Not on the controller. Oh, I did not. Thank you, Lux. I'd be happy to save some Feno chat for when they're here. Like, should love that. When I was like one of my some of my favorite orgs let down their hair, like she was included in that. Weirdly enough, like, no, there's not much wireless lag over that distance. It's the bigger lag is the laptop I use for receiving it and talking to my computer. It's connected wirelessly. If I put a cable in the laptop, perfect. I assume. I haven't tried it yet. But I don't want to have a cable traveling across the living room. That's the whole point. Otherwise, I just run a HDMI cable. The long distance. That's a dumb solution. I will not do that.
Yeah, I know. You're right. I just don't know who I'm meeting tonight. Is it going to be Dr. Drain or that Lord Luridus fella?
Lord Luridus. Ah, I know you're in the middle of a move. How is it going, Leona? Any information or secrets or hilarious developments you wish to report to chat? I also wanted to say, comrade, I don't know if you saw in VODs, like, we wish you well while you were not feeling well. I'm glad you're on the way back up.
You only met a single individual last time, and you will meet only a single individual this time.
Ooh.
Do not let Dr. Drain's avoidance of accountability confuse you.
That's a good one, right? That's a good one. That wasn't me. That was, that's me afflicted by a disorder. You're like, well, no, like, both of those are you. Seriously.
You saw the guy, though. Lord Luridus ain't nothing like Dr. Drain.
Isn't he?
And why do you think that is, Samuel?
He's demon or something.
Well, maybe it's easier for Dr. Drain to blame Lord Luridus.
Correct, Samuel. A mild change in personality would be within Dr. Drain's control. Luridus is not, and therefore, Dr. Drain relinquishes control.
Huh. That sounds like a lot of work. Jeez. God damn. Being so emotionally balked, you end up with the psychosomatic illness. Yeah, I do that. It sucks, but it's a thing, absolutely. I had some not expensive, but like really relatively long-lasting cold and flu symptoms, and I gave a very complicated test in, and I got a SMS that's like, here's a link to your results. It's been reviewed by a doctor. You had a cold. Really? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Moving, in general, sucks, and you're leaving a big one.
Prepare yourself, my friend. Let us find the darkness that lives within Dr. Drain.
Oh, okay. Oh, man. Always right is a big one, too.
All right, I think I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
That's good. You got this. You got this. If nothing else, the time is gonna march on its own anyway. And you've committed yourself to moving out, so that's got to happen. The choices we're making are like how much stuff you're going to leave in the old place to slowly get back to. And we're hoping for very little, because you need that stuff. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, well, October's busy for me too. The beginning, end, friend's wedding. 3-day wedding.
Do not fear, Samuel. I shall not let Dr. Drain hurt you, no matter what he is calling himself. Do what you do best.
I will, I promise.
Dr. Drain cannot harm you.
And here he comes, whoever he is today.
And now, back transition.
Doc?
Somewhat taciturn today, then. Well, don't be upset with me. I did warn you about that beast. At least now you recognize the urgency in being rid of him. Perhaps now we can stop beating about the bush and actually fix my addiction problem.
I'm here to help, but if we're gonna lick this thing, we gotta do it honestly. And that means getting to the root of the problem.
Lick this thing.
I tire of this self-examination process. There must be something efficacious that I can do. Perhaps some sort of aversion therapy. I am willing to do whatever it takes to make that villain just go away.
Then you gotta be willing to address the big old elephant in the room.
And what is that?
It's kind of hot. Maybe a little. More exasperating than anything else. But because, of course, they're turned up away from subtlety. It's a visual novel. That's what the whole thing's about. I don't have infinite time. Get going. Let's go. Yeah, you got it, Leon. Absolutely. I was using flowery language to essentially ask, so how's it going? What did I do, Luxie? What did I do? Don't be mean.
You and Lord Luridus ain't two different people. You keep talking about him like he's someone else, but you both got the same brain in there.
And it's rough. And it's deep. There's a lot of emotions going on in your head. And that's making them, it's expressing them through your body as well. Hey, I've heard, that body, it sure can keep a score. I mean, I feel normal after the Fenner now because I have shaved. But yesterday, emotions were fucked the whole day. I'm really glad I took 2 days off work. Next year I might take 3.
Complete and utter nonsense. You've met him. We share absolutely nothing in common. And what's more, I am fully aware that he hates me.
Yeah, you hate him too, but that doesn't mean you're not the same person.
Take a look at this note he left on my desk.
Just this dear freezer, and there's a picture of a butt.
It's supposed to be you there with the micro penis?
Well, that was closer than I expected. I can't. God, Team 4-Star got it deep with that one, huh? Just this dear freezer and has a picture of a butt. He might have DID, but it's more likely. I don't know, right? What do we see? Yeah, you can't. That one's going to require more skills than Sam, the apprentice therapist, should be handling.
Indeed. Juvenile humor, to be sure.
Yeah?
Certainly nothing I would produce.
Yeah, then why does it say drain above his head?
Ain't he got the same penis, though?
That's a better point, actually. Yeah, there you go.
Quite so. I have no doubt he does the most terrible things with it.
So somehow he's got a different brain than you do, but the same penis. Something ain't adding up here, Doc.
I I resent what you are suggesting. I have no effect on what Lord Luridus does.
That's a control thing. We don't have control. Closest we have is the Nosferatu thinking it's all good or it's all bad. No, that's not right. Let's go blaming. It's all his fault.
I know you're a pretty responsible fella, but you're giving Lord Luridus more
Achievement!
credit than he deserves.
Got 20 distortions correct in a row. Yes! You see that? Genius. Or average and just playing a game. Yeah. Hey, cleric. Welcome back to the land of the living on the last day of both of our days off from Fenno and work. We have to return to regular humanity tomorrow. Such a disappointment.
What on earth are you talking about?
You know that old stereotype mortals like to spread about us where we can't go into a place until we're invited?
A ludicrous idea with no basis in scientific truth.
Yeah, it's still fun.
Ain't you giving Lord Luridus your permission to come in and do what he does when you take that plasma stuff?
Aw, thanks, comrade. I've not posted the full rant or context to Discord, but I will post it to my friends first. Fucking goddamn it.
I didn't invite him in.
I gotta
the
start
first
again.
time. I had no idea what I had created. That his presence would become an addiction was not known to me.
Oh, whoa. Fred. Tried to buy a car, Leona. Nearly 4 months ago.
Dr. Drain, you're a scientist. Your stock and trade is in facts, ain't it? Let's leave thought out of this for now.
No,
you
you
gotta be my
didn't.
scientist here and stick to what we know.
I started to talk about it a little bit, right? And then I was in fact reminded, hey, look, Cleric wants in for Fenno debrief. And I'm like, all right, we can chill. What happened? Oh, I got told they no longer make that car, that model. They no longer make anything with that color that you wanted. You're shit out of luck. What about my deposit, you fucks? And also, why didn't you tell me? I had to go in person for you to tell me. I've been calling for like 2 weeks. First world problem, kind of, but also, fuck you! Anyway. Yeah, that's true. It was 3 months later. After multiple calls and attempts and emails saying, hey, how's it going? And like, yeah, it's all good. What do you mean it's all good? What do you mean? Yeah, apparently. Now, I need them to confirm that because maybe they misspoke. But, we'll see.
Very well. Yes. The genesis of Lord Luridus was in the actions and choices I took. Are you quite satisfied?
See that? He invented Lord Luridus after experiencing the actions Drain took. Well, I think it's relatively easy to take the same assumptions that you put, the same sexist assumptions, and then put them on me because I'm also kind of like polite and non-aggressive, especially in financial and stressful situations. Like, they don't let me bring in the materials that make me feel the most powerful. Plus, I don't have the hip holster for it yet. It would be the right fucking color, though. Anyway.
Doc, we ain't here for my satisfaction. Do you really think that?
Leave Violets and Ever Stitches know what the hell I'm talking about.
Well, the fact that I am upset right now certainly lends credence to the idea that you are trying to shame me.
Emotional reasoning.
Let's go back to the science, Doc. Can you say with all confidence that I'm trying to shame you?
If I did not have a penis, I'd still be masculine, and I'd probably bring my own. I don't think it'd solve the problem. It's not a flogger. Though I have one in the appropriate color also, and I love that one. I think I've shown that off at least once. No, this is a new toy, a birthday toy.
No, I cannot. You can't read my mind, Doc. Or at least far as I know you can't. But if you could, you'd know what'd make me real satisfied is helping you out.
Yeah.
I get that you're upset. This is tough stuff to face. But that don't make me a bad guy for talking about it. I'm here to help you face it. I won't lie to you, Doc. The people that Lord Lourdes has hurt probably would have a bone to pick with you. But I ain't here to punish nobody. That ain't the way to help you. In this room, we're working together. You're doing the hard work, and I'm just giving you support. Catch my drift, partner?
I love my little custom channel emotes. They're so good.
And so you do me even greater shame through kindness. I cannot win. Perhaps I should simply let that beast, Lord Lourdes, have his way with me.
What do you mean, should?
Come on now, Doc. You're jumping right to doom there. There are so many ways this therapy thing could go for you. It ain't we destroy Lord Lourdes. That means there's definitely
Lord
something
Lourdes
in the middle.
wins.
And working together, we'll make things better. Maybe not completely better. This work ain't never done.
Yeah, Sam is a cowboy. He certainly was a cowboy. He rustled cattle as well. And every now and then, it seems like a manifestation of his vampire powers to soothe someone. Frontier vampire psychiatrist. Very good. You can soothe someone like they're a wild stallion. Frontier vampire psychiatrist. That's so good. That's so good.
Of course, I am forgetting myself. I'm not usually prone to extremes. I shall attempt to be more mindful.
Or he's bringing it up now to make the joke work. But still.
I ain't expecting you to be perfect, Doc. And I don't want
Yeah.
you to expect perfection from yourself either. What I'm asking you for is self-compassion.
Self-compassion. Oh my god. This game is so fucking good.
That ain't erasing blame. It's just approaching yourself from a place of understanding. That's a scientific method, ain't it?
I doubt many in the scientific community would agree with such a statement, but I believe I understand the thrust of it. We cannot address facts if we mask them in emotionality.
That's exactly it, Doc. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Indeed. Thus my attempt to synthesize the thought properly.
Well, thank the dark powers that made us. Someone in here's the smart one.
The dark powers that made us.
Very well. We shall take a strategic, scientifically sound approach. We will agree upon facts, develop hypotheses, test and validate.
Sounds good, Drain. Now remember, you need to repeat something multiple times before you can call it a fact.
If I rely on the science, I will never be wrong.
So you'll be always right.
Hold on a sec. Before we jump in, Doc, I gotta challenge you. Even science ain't gonna make it certain you're always right. The answers science gives you might not be the answers that are best for you. I just want you to keep your mind open, all right?
My mind is always open. I'm a scientist.
Have you ever seen the inside of a cult? They've got a lot of engineers and scientists because they're so smart that they know what's going on, and that means if they believe something, it's objective truth, okay? Now, drink this Kool-Aid.
I'm just gonna reflect that back to you and see if you think that's true. You're saying being a scientist means your mind is always, without fail, open.
This game is not, like, open for me doing vampire monologues as much as I'd like. Unfortunately. It also just doesn't seem to be right. It's voiced, you know?
Well, I suppose that sounds a bit ridiculous. Very well. I shall endeavor to ensure that my thinking is flexible.
Well, sounds good to me, compadre. Let's start assembling them facts. Can I ask you some questions then?
Let's start assembling them there facts.
You may. Let us begin.
All right, so you told me that the thing that makes your plasma addicting is how good it makes you feel when you wake up from it. From your scientific perspective, what makes it feel good?
From a chemical perspective, good feelings, or positive emotions, are the result of neurotransmitter action.
So, like, does Drain think, oh shit, Sam's got me? And hell, does Sam think, I've fucking got his ass this session? That guy's owned. Because he should.
Considering the specific emotions felt in the immediate moment are contentment and satisfaction, it is certain that I am experiencing an oxytocin and dopamine release. It is a primal limbic
Literally
response.
the only things you enjoy.
In laboratory settings, we observe a constant drive in animals towards stimulating the release of amygdala-receptive neurotransmitters.
I think you're gonna need to boil that down for me, Doc.
I did not come here to teach, but so be it. Ask your questions.
That's a problem. Anyway, limbic system?
What's the limbic system do?
The limbic system functions as the emotional center of the brain, responsible for emotional responses such as joy, fear, and anger.
So it's like the part of my brain deciding if I should be scared of a rattlesnake or happy about a belly full of blood?
Precisely. It plays a crucial role in forming memories and making decisions based on emotional experiences.
And in Disco Elysium, it sounds like this.
Often called the lizard brain, it's evolutionarily one of the older parts of the brain, indicating its fundamental role in regulating survival instincts.
I've been called lizard brain before, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't a compliment.
Did you sound like this?
What's this about neurotransmitters?
Neurotransmitters are chemical messengers that neurons use to communicate with each other. For example, social bonding reliably triggers a release of oxytocin, creating a sense of security and attachment.
And that's why you're watching me stream. And if you keep watching me stream, you'll grow more and more attached.
So if I'm reading you right, when I'm feeling all snug after a good feed, is them oxytocin neurotransmitters doing their thing?
Exactly. This process is an integral part of our brain's reward system, encouraging behaviors that are perceived as beneficial for our survival and well-being.
And yet, somehow, we still end up gambling.
So survival feels good, basically.
Yes, though I would not publish such a statement in an academic paper.
Not without a citation.
So what's all this stuff really mean in the end, Doc? Why's this neurotransmitter stuff even matter?
An intriguing question. Naturally, emotion does not have a practical evolutionary application on its own. However, these emotions signal to the reptilian brain whether or not we are under threat.
Oh, well, dang, now I think we're getting somewhere. I think the answer's right in front of us.
You're a lizard person.
Oh? And what is it that your rooting, tooting brain can synthesize that mine cannot?
You don't feel safe on your own. Taking that plasma forces you to get that neurotransmitter hit.
An intriguing theory. However, evidence stands against it. Like it or not, I am a vampire. The only thing that may threaten me is the sun or a more powerful vampire.
Or yourself.
I should not be experiencing feelings of mortal danger. I am not immortal. Logically, I should know such a thing is ridiculous.
There's them should statements again, Doc. It doesn't matter what logic says. You still got that part of your brain that says it's in danger, and that part doesn't care about logic.
Therapy but PvP is an accurate way to describe some bits of Fenno. It sure wouldn't cover raccoons in a warehouse, a game where you are raccoons in a warehouse. Which warehouse? Warehouse 13, the sci-fi show. Long cancelled. Highly enjoyable though. Good show. Yeah. That was fun. It was a good way to kill some time. There, I was the OH&S officer raccoon. I had the OH&S manual, and I got +2 on all of my fate die rolls to hit someone with my OH&S manual, which came up several times. That's good. I fucking hate fate though, so I'm not doing that. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Unfortunately, we're not going to let you K anyone at Fenno. And if you D, well, you're in trouble no matter which euphemism we're going with for that one. No fucking on school grounds. At Fenno. As I've been reminded repeatedly by Violets. Look, it happened. Just not at con. I know, Leona. I know. You think it's a teacher? Is it a fucking... Anyway. I did, like, every time... yeah, I prefer that. I have said previously whenever I, like, not get removed, but leave the committee or leave a position of authority. Yeah, thank you. That was a good job. Leave a position of authority at Fenno. I'm like, well, now I can flirt with all the participants again because it's got an interesting power dynamic, if not. Good night, baby K. Night, night, sleepy boy. I say, well, now I can flirt with all the participants again. Because there's not a power dynamic. Person who chooses whether we accept games should not be the person who's also like... But also, I'm way too fucking busy to throw on another relationship. But a good bit, nonetheless. A good bit. Yeah. Baby K joined us for prize giving, where I was able to read out my awards. Oh, yeah, okay, we can tease you fuckers. One, you can find this on my Discord, and you can get to my Discord by typing !class. And then you can get the full details. But at Feno, we give out awards. It's not mandatory, but some GMs like to reward other people for like particular funny moments. And I started my like award speech with, you ever take your cishet monogamous boyfriend to a queer meetup and they have an identity crisis? And then I was able to say, 3 of you have. Because, you know, that's the setup for my game. And I gave Willow, who is in chat, an award for being a surprisingly reasonable dread divinity of darkest necromancy. And another one to a friend that says, surprise, honey, my ex may be ending the world. And Ridian and Ren for, so a second magical unexplained baby has hit the log. Because one character has a magical unexplained baby, right? And players created another one at the end of their session, session 3, and I was baffled. It was very funny. We also had an auction for like the first version of this mug, which I love this one, right? That one's 29 years old, and we auctioned it off for charity for Canteen Cancel, a cancer charity. Did you play the character wrong? That's not what I said. Where did that fear come from? Also, haven't I been saying multiple times that you played it very well? Willow, don't let doubt creep into your mind. They made a baby? No, they turned a ghost into a baby. They gave them a new baby. They gave them a new body and then specified it was a baby's body. And then many other players are like, well, shit, I gotta take care of them now then. Including the Vampire Queen, who was very excited. Anyway. Eat the baby. Hey, Violets. That is a whole subdivision. Yeah, well, you need a vampire, or a therapist, or a vampire therapist. And the, yeah, it's a weird way of making a baby. I mean, reviews on the previous methods that I'm more familiar with, they're pretty highly effective. Actually, no, they're terribly ineffective. It's performed multiple hundred times. They've only got one baby. Anyway. I love you, chat. You're all doing real well. And while they were auctioning off the mug, it got to about $180 before I said, firstborn son? And held up baby K. And Stitch said, no! And then took him. And that was very funny. God, I love making the whole convention laugh. Some could argue that there are like signs of a deeper need there. But hey, let's just talk about fictional therapy instead.
An astute point, and an inconvenient one. That we should be saddled with such vestigial, primal concerns is most unfortunate.
So, like, I will be typing up a full report from my experiences as a wrangler, sharing the position, writing a game, the people running it, how the convention ran under the new president of Eagle. I don't want to just give out his name, and his screen name is just his Eagle and last name, so that's not going to work. Anyway. Dr. Robot. In the end, it was a very, very, very good con, and some of the issues I had in the lead-up were explained effectively. And I've been through long chats at like 10:30 to 11 at night while we're trying to wait for the last goddamn session to finish. The whole plan for going ahead was revealed, and I am on board. So that's going to be fun. And the coasters... That's what I do, Cleric. That's what I do. And also asking them to, hey, think about whether you want to pitch a game at me next year. I go up to, like, our favorite players, and I'm like, hey, you have a decent understanding of how to play someone. Have you considered creating one?
Can't avoid the fact that we still got them human concerns. At least we don't gotta poop, huh?
Yeah, convenient.
Oh dear. And you were doing so well. At least I have nothing to fear from you.
Yeah, but we love teasing you for it, Leona. Like, that's the point. It's fun. Yeah, that's true. You are new to the committee. I mean, you did get shouted out in Eagle's speech. Fuck. Oh, well, in Eagle's speech. This is not Baby K's name, so I'm not actually going to edit it out. Just be like, the person who came on and solved everything. Oh, thank you, Violets. Do consent to being teased. Now we love that. Ooh, see, Cleric, while you'd have my full support, and I like that, I'm big on it takes 3 iterations or more for a big change to actually start happening. And since this is a yearly thing, I don't want a new president yet. If Eagle is still going, and I think he really fucking should, I'm gonna keep poking. There was a lot of stress at one point, absolutely. And maybe it was a saving throw from that president, but they were like, I think the thing I wanted to prove, i.e., I'm good at this and I care about the con and I'll sort it out, I promise. And you will not regret giving me the ability to look after people and put good work in. People were like, I feel like they recognize that, oh shit, yeah, Jimbles does know what he's doing. I can, now that I'm actually watching, he does do really well on this. And there's another reason, like, I've been tapped on the shoulder and said, hey, potentially think about X. And that makes me think, yeah. Maybe restructure the whole thing. Slow. 3 iterations. Then restructure, huh? Riley was like, there you go. He wanted to add, like, stability, and he didn't manage that in 1 year, because you never fucking do, right? So, a little bit longer, a little bit more stable. That's my full opinion. And that sucks, because part of it, that's me saying, hey, not yet, cleric, don't make a power grab yet. But that's not because you wouldn't do good things with it, it's slower. The anarchist is saying, hey, let incrementalism happen. But this is a large affinity group. It's not politics. I know you can fix it, but when you say, but I can fix it, I'm hearing Nyrix, not cleric. Only if you won't. Well, the year after, or maybe the one after that, I'm like, cleric, abso-fucking-lutely. And on a really selfish level, if you go for president, who the fuck is going to write the minutes and make sure shit actually goddamn happens? Because it's not gonna be, well, me, because I'm terrible at that. I'm the enthusiastic, hey, this is really art, care about your craft, here's how to do it responsibly, please include content warnings, here's what they are. Willow, will you replace it with some sort of Docker instance? Yeah, it turns out they're all people, right, comrade? Organizations full of people, they're fucked. Leona, do it. Oh, actually, I think I've heard at least part of this, and I'm pretty excited. That sounds so good. That sounds so good, right? Yeah? Because it was upsetting at some point when there was no buy-in. Yeah, let's go. Write minutes, and then here's your action list, go do it, and then they report back by the next meeting. I have done X. Oh my god. Incredible. Anyway, fuck, we're playing Vampire Therapist. Also, cleric, you deserve time. Yeah, I think so. At least early stages about a community organization that was important. It's not my story to tell, so I'm not going into it. Yeah, cleric, you deserve time to talk about your con. And Emma Stitches is probably putting Baby K to sleep right now, but hopefully she'll have time to type up her experiences about the con. And if I steal those ideas from a different server, I will. There's actually one really big celebration achievement thing that I believe is hers to share, and that's why I'm not sharing it around more. Because I don't want to steal any of that glory. You know? It's pretty fucking cool. I don't have... Oh, damn. I don't have any of the trophies with me. Oh, yeah. I want recon. No. The South Asian community thing is the one I was thinking of. Seriously. That actually makes me feel like, oh, I did know that. Ta-da. Recon, yes. I think it's a big deal and we really should. And not just to stroke my own ego, because many people will be like, I didn't get a chance to play Bonds. And I'm like, you didn't? My word. I will fix some pronouns on character sheets, which bugged me so badly. And then when I print the characters, oh my god. Oh, I used the school facilities to print pages because it made me internally really fucking happy to use 80 pages of their resources instead of public schools resources. Anyway, the motherfuckers got the last laugh on me because they didn't print collated. And they weren't page numbers. So I needed 4 copies of each character, and you know what it did? Printed page 1, page 1, page 1, page 1, page 2, page 2, page 2, page 2. And then it ran out of paper halfway through 3 times. And when it ran out of paper, it didn't print some pages. Some of them, not all of them, just some. Did I select collated? Yes. I know, because when I reprinted some... I didn't see Puzzle Plus coming. Also, Cleric, no, fuck off. These are the shorter versions. You heard that. This is the shorted version. If you want shorter character sheet, dabs on the haters. I didn't ask a school ghost to be nice to me. Is a school ghost a kid that died from a tree branch falling on them? Because that's happened twice in my lifetime in Canberra private schools. It's really fucking dark. Yeah. Really dark. But I don't think it's at that school specifically. At least one of them was at a school that's in the news every week for Canberra for doing something awful. And it's not like just being shitty to students. It's like, we spent several $100,000 on buying one of the robots from Boston Dynamics. And then advertise that fact on school buses. Oh, violets. Yeah, that's the plan. Okay. Here's the thing. If the ghost is determined to cause mischief and you're in the kitchen, you're going to burn down the school. Yeah, you did, Cleric, and it was very funny. Yeah, not the school's fault. Yeah, of course. Oh, God. I don't have an idea for a game next year. I wouldn't run it because I'm maybe doing more work, right? And, oh, also, I had an idea with violets last night. I had other ideas that I would actually share. On chat, right? And they are... Yeah, I know you have an idea, and I'm rejecting it until you attend and understand the thing you're satirizing. Ah, now that's a good workaround. I'm fine with that. One idea is work with Corey to make a Shadowrun game where he runs the mechanics and I run the plot, and that sounds like fun. I'd co-GM something. I had an idea, like it's not even really anything other than just an idea that I'd add into another game. That's you have a co-GM in a LARP turn out to be an actual character, even though they've been answering things as a GM the whole time. They're just like, oh, actually and that would be pretty funny. That would only work once. But the idea I had with Violets last night, the one I'm sharing on stream, is... And she's like, you do. Don't be stupid. She wouldn't say that. I heard it, but she didn't say it. She didn't even imply it. What food safe qualifications do you need to steam milk? Not serve hot food, but steam milk. Because I always joked, I was like, yeah, I filled my mug with instant coffee, and someone said, I think it was maybe even it was Violet who went, ew. And I was like, well, is it the con? It's not like they have an espresso machine. But what if they did? What if they did have an espresso machine? Because I know how to use an espresso machine. I don't have one at home. But what if I sell coffee? Coffee is cheap. Setup cost, expensive, right? But the margins on milk, sugar, coffee beans are so low. So low. We've already got insurance. We've got plenty of folk with food safe calls, yes. However, if you require that sort of thing, then one of those people have to be on at all times. You can't just let other people walk in and run the canteen for a bit, which is what I did, right? Jimbles' adult barista era, I did it when I was much younger. You want credit? Yeah, you toss the old shit and then replace it with the better version I keep at home and still think, oh, I wish I had patience to make real coffee. But it was certainly better, so you get the credit. We have taught baby K to clap, and since he's a baby, you can distract him by clapping, and then he claps along. And even if he was like moderately upset, he'll be like, oh, clapping, I remember that. That's great. Not be upset. That's so funny. Well, contributor defenders run a game. Oh, cream crumbles. Here's the thing. I haven't actually heard of our cream crumbles. So, yeah, that sounds great. And that's all you can contribute at the moment. When we let you come back. When we let you into the country. On your victory tour of the eastern states of Australia, where you are doing things with large sections of the chat, do it at Fenner. Though not on the school grounds. Anyway. Yeah, it is. It really is, Cleric. Okay, come on. Hire and book a coffee van. Yes, but that's got extra cost. If it's just an espresso machine and a Jimbles let loose on it, full profit because I'm a volunteer. I don't give a shit. I'll have fun with it. Yes. Anyway, fuck. Let's keep going.
It's true, though. We're still animals, partner. We gotta satisfy the animal. Just not through pooping. But we are immortal. Why do we have animal needs, fears, and emotions? What possible use do they have?
I'm basing it on nothing other than my sincere desire for this to be correct. Do you need a food safe set? For steaming milk. We don't have the appropriate cognitive thing. Yes. Yeah, see, everyone says yes. Everyone, so far, it's Violet's and you. And you're both very sensible and intelligent people, and I trust you. But are you citing it? Is it online?
It is such a disappointing notion, however, to think that we cannot transcend our reptilian brain, even when we are beyond death.
Yeah, because you're bouncing on it. Holy shit. Excuse me, I'm just gonna... I think I gotta... Alright, that didn't work. What the fuck? What was it? Bonk. It's bonk. That's better.
Oh, we're dealing in facts, though. And I think what we're coming to is that your reptilian brain doesn't feel safe.
So I didn't mention my stream at Fenner at all, which was a remarkable restraint. Good job. Because I was in front of a crowd, and I could have had all of them know how stupid I get with this. Yeah. And someone asked, so where is this setting from? And I said, oh, it's from a novel that's like 3/4 complete. And that person did come back later after the con to say, so you looking for beta readers yet? Like, I like you a lot, but so far the number of people that have read this book in work that I have slept with is like 90%. So yeah, in front of cleric by ourselves, but I don't know if that really counts. And so, like, if I give you this work in progress, who knows? That sounds dangerous to me. Again, you're playing and submitting games. So, no. Is it on the Plex library? Oh shit, it's in the Plex library! No, that's not the Plex library. It's in the Caliber library, right? And Kavita. Yeah, you are. You've been playing Ace Attorney or something? You're doing great.
Which is absolutely ridiculous. But I must admit that it is somehow
It's a
true.
good book, Braun. Yeah, and here's the thing. I'm no longer writing in games, so maybe I could get the fuck on with it. Yeah, DM stuff. Put it on the... Oh, fuck. It doesn't have the cover. Did I put the cover in it? If not, you should just wait until I get to it. Yeah? Hear that? Go on, Leanna. You better send it to Luxie.
Ugh, what a devastating revelation. Dr. Drain, for all his scientific achievement, is just an emotional little laboratory rat who bases all his decisions in fear.
Oh, thanks, Comrade.
Doc, I want to go back to one of them things I was telling you about in our first session, and that's self-compassion. Let's say you had some vampire apprentice, a scientist like you, who didn't know nothing like what you know, and said they were down on themselves for all the reasons you are.
We're not making a lot of progress in Vampire Therapist tonight. We're just chilling, and that's not a problem.
What would you say to them?
Well, I would explain that progress is non-linear. The scientific method, in fact, celebrates failure. That which does not conform to theory still informs theory.
Yeah, we were.
Any chance you could put the scientist away and talk to their human side?
Well, I suppose I would say that it is fine, that all things are temporary, and the universe does not care to condemn them.
So how can we get you to say them things to yourself, Doc?
My situation is not the same. I was trained in the age of discovery. I bear the responsibility for that
You
age.
should see the Plex. Willow has gone nuts. It's incredible. I get long updates that I am very impressed by and think I can't handle that right now, but I do love it.
But if this project of mine, to create the blood that will sustain the world, is not what I am here for, then what is my purpose?
Well, let me ask you, what's the purpose of a gopher?
Rodentia, Geomedy. Rodents endemic to North America, known for their tunneling ability and as agricultural pests. I believe they are the prey of owls, snakes, and coyotes, and are omnivorous themselves, consuming vegetables, insects, and small mammals.
Me IRL.
I wasn't expecting you to be so thorough. I don't think I knew half that stuff.
I have come to learn nearly everything there is to know about mammalian biology as a result of my research. Please get to the point.
I think I forgot what it was now.
Come on,
That is
Sam.
not encouraging.
Hold on a sec, I think I've got it.
Yeah, you do want credit for it. You were complaining about it like 4 standard drinks in. It was very funny. Please, one more demonstration. It's like a gopher.
Well, see, you're kind of like a gopher.
Comrade, I said I'd fix it when I got home, and I definitely didn't. I didn't do it today either. And you're like, you don't have to right away. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But I didn't even write a reminder for it, so there's no way. I forgot entirely. It's not I prioritized other tasks. I just plumb forgot, baby. Remind me 3 hours Ghost in the Shell, question mark? I love those reminders. I make them when I'm drunk as well, and then get to translate them the next day. And I have a fucking hilarious one that I had to send to poor Cleric, because I was like, what does this mean? I secretly know the entire context, but I can subtly say, hey, do you remember what this is? Because I do. But this is an opportunity to pretend it was something else. Um, yeah, 2 unequal stools and crouch, and I was waiting to catch. Why do the weightlifting if you can't catch pretty people?
Am I now? Pray tell, how am I like a gopher?
Well, you've got, like, large teeth.
Well, you live underground, and you're real alert all the time.
It's directed at you bit. I also didn't remember what the wombat bit was about, but I did eventually remember what it's about. It's get the band the Wombats.
And?
Because I don't know his screen name, so you just get his first name. Because Ryan was like, oh yeah, because it reminds me of this lyric from band the Wombats. It's like, I've never heard them. And he goes, everyone's heard this one song from the Wombats. I'm like, have I? And he hummed a couple of bars. I didn't remember it. And Violet was like, you should probably know the Wombats. I know the Wombats. I don't know an Australian band called the Wombats. And then she was like, they're British. And it makes more sense that a British band would be called the Wombats rather than Australian. But anyway. No. The uneven stools were in the bar as part of the demonstration. They were not in the crawl space.
And that's it.
Yeah, because they found their home. They found their burrow.
Science, save us.
Hold on, I think I remember now.
It's like, here's the thing. I'd say gophers don't have a purpose, and that's the whole... Anyway.
Gophers have a purpose. Driving people crazy, that's what. Used to wreak havoc on
Not the
farmland
Wombles.
back in
That's something
Missouri.
else entirely. That's a show. We're looking for a band. What the... So you know the Wombats. But I don't know the Wombats.
Absolutely ridiculous. That is not their purpose. It's an ill-informed anthropocentric philosophy defined and subscribed to entirely by said anthropocentrists.
Wait a minute. I was at your wedding, so I should know at least one Wombat song, but clearly I don't. That's not in doubt, comrade. I reach out for you for validation. I'm like, I think I like this band. I mean, I also reach out to Violet quite a lot for the same reasons. Like, hey, look at this. Is it good? And at least once she's been like, no. And I go, oh. Yeah, I kind of like it. Which is a more polite way. Wombats, which one? Scurry, dig. Willow, I know we were talking about music available on said server and how we weren't going to do it the way we were going to, but I'm going to add a thing. Manually.
I didn't know bugs could do that.
Anthropocentrists, not arthropods. Humans. Homo sapiens.
Okay, so he didn't like us calling him a gopher.
I am saying that you have created a purpose for the gopher that the gopher is entirely unaware of.
So, who made your purpose, Dr. Drain?
Oh, fucking got him.
What?
Add a
I did,
thing.
I suppose.
Wombats.
So if you made it, you can change it, right?
But how can I change my purpose? I have always been a scientist. So that's what I am.
Science is just what you do, compadre. That's one of them anthropocentric philosophies you mentioned.
I think it's funny that Leona probably tried to answer Violet's and it just auto-replaced with the emoji again. Willow, I'm doing a bit. There's no additional work for you to do at all. And I also don't even require assistance. I'm just being like, hey, we talked about this and like about our approach and what we're doing. But you know what I'm going to do? What I was doing beforehand and hope it works.
You're overgeneralizing about yourself. Dr. Drain's in there, and he's more than the things he knows are his job title.
That's the problem. I'm not sure that he is.
Oh.
All right, well, let's take that scientific approach and try to figure out who the man behind the scientist is.
Very well. If we look at the behavior of our subject, myself, we can infer a few things.
Automate me? Does that free me up to do more things? I've always Since about like 16, I've daydreamed about having a second me for certain things.
If we examine my behavior, one can draw comparison to a threatened higher-thinking mammal. I spend much time in ensuring personal safety and security.
It's literally one of the least straight things I've ever done and thought about.
What about your more peaceful moments? What do they look like?
I believe these feelings are only medically induced through my special plasma. However, Dr. Drain appears to be at rest when he is full and satisfied.
Wow. You mean there's a way to make him chill out?
And your synthetic blood doesn't do that for you.
I am forced to admit that at present, it does not.
Dr. Drain, what do you think of drinking something a little more fresh and human?
I will not. I do not have to. That depraved vampire, Lord Lyridus, is the source of all that is base and vulgar about my person.
Blaming he's the source?
Doc, you're blaming Lord Lyridus for something common to all vampires, including yourself. We need blood. That's just how it is. Ain't Lord Lyridus's fault. Now, I know you ain't comfortable with that need, but you can't offload everything you ain't happy with onto Lord Lyridus. That just makes him worse.
You have not been listening to me at all if you believe I have absolved myself of all vampiric frailty.
That's not what we were saying.
I didn't say that. I'm saying you're distancing yourself from your needs by saying they're Lord Lyridus's needs. Well, what if you indulge Lord Lyridus once in a while? Maybe you could keep him from coming out.
Do you not understand what I have been working toward for the last 400 years?
That's an excellent reason why you feel like you shouldn't follow through on my suggestion, but how do you feel about the actual suggestion? Not a rationale as to why you shouldn't.
I will finally be able to transcend this thing that I am. I shall be a parasite no more.
I'd love to use labeling here, but
Dr. Drain, we really got to talk about some kind of middle path here. Back home, we tried the whole abstinence thing a few times, and it didn't go too well. We tried to stop drinking, and that just made people only do bad drinking.
why do people smuggle in alcohol to, like, football games, stadium events, whatever? Because I would like to be drunk. What do they generally smuggle in? Strong alcohol, because it's easy to smuggle in a single hip flask. What do people get at those events if they're allowed to purchase alcohol there? Beer. A much lighter alcohol. It was Johann Hari's book, Chasing the Scream, that brought up that example for me, and I love it. Like, if when transport and security are part of the equation, you need to have, like, really strong stuff so it's easier to hide, carry, and bring in. And that's one of the reasons why fentanyl was really, like, one of the many reasons why it's a substance that's everywhere, because you need less of it to cause a much bigger response. But anyway, if you ask people what they want to drink at a stadium event, it's usually something like beer, but what do they bring in? Whiskey, because it's stronger. And you just have a couple of sips, because having a nice little buzz is actually fun most of the time. Anyway,
We tried telling teenagers sex was evil, and that just made them want it even more while being ashamed of themselves.
some of us want the evil sex as well.
What if you just tried to do some of them things Lord Lyridus does? Just don't do them the way he does.
I find the idea utterly repellent.
Utterly? Entirely? Just drinking blood from a consenting person?
Yeah, but then you go and take that plasma, and Lord Lyridus makes the decisions. We don't want that, right?
Fine. I'll drink some blood.
Cheap vodka, the cheapest. Comes from a plastic bottle. I'll have a Tito's and vodka, please.
But I warn you, Sam, the price of failure is most dear. If I should lose my humanity, all of humanity will lose.
Really?
Or you pick yourself up and try again.
Nosferatu thinking, really? All of humanity loses if you lose your humanity briefly? Pick yourself up and try again. It's a great point, Sam.
Ain't that what the scientific method's all about? It ain't winning and losing. It ain't the end of humanity if things don't go perfectly.
Boy, he's got the god complex shit. Damn right.
You're predicting the future, hombre. Ain't nothing scientific about that.
You think so? I can't imagine someone with my highly rational mind feeling so strongly if my prediction weren't firmly rooted in fact.
So you're always correct.
Dr. Drain appears to be thinking with his feelings again.
You think so? That's your feelings determining what the future's gonna be, compadre.
Distortionception. A distortion within a distortion.
Let's get that scientist back in here, huh? I know Dr. Drain's not gonna let his emotions tell him the future.
You little shit. Definitely a surgeon. He's a lot of things, but yeah.
Well said, Sam. Forgive my theatricality.
Believe me, you don't know just how theatrical some people can be.
Yeah, he's talking about, the
I know
actor.
it all seems real heavy right now. Just show yourself a little compassion and patience. Beating yourself up over a future that ain't happened yet isn't gonna help you. We need to go back to this thing I brought up before. You're a smart fella, Dr. Drain, but sometimes you're forgetting vampire commonality. We've all felt like the world was ending or that we're awful monsters. But them feelings are our perceptions alone.
Yes, I'm aware. Perhaps I've been a little too human in my wobbles.
I always thought it was foibles.
However, you forget my training in history. I am not an average vampire. I was trained by the great Professor William Harvey. I have had 4 centuries to unlock the secrets of animal biology.
Foibles.
I have a duty to humanity and to my own legacy. A duty I should not fail in. Otherwise, what was it all for?
Hold your horses there, amigo. You say you've got a duty to humanity? Well, that ain't scientific at all.
Hold your horses. Slow down there, baby. Snack him. I think you mean smack, right? What sort of therapy lessons are you going to, Leona? Yeah. Exactly, cleric. Because, if they gently smack you back into line, that's a separate kind of therapy. That's one of those, I'm escaping through BDSM. Though, like, there is some crossover. Got a little tune up by getting a little smack, you know. That's probably not a thing I could do. Because I don't see cleric in a professional capacity often, I have no idea. I assume so. But I have no experience, and that's probably for the best. No, I'm really not allowed to start offering literal sex therapy. Not at all. Absolutely not. Even the...
It ain't just anthropocentric, it's Dr. Drain-centric. Nobody said you had to do anything.
The rest of us make fun of... Wow. That's...
Remember when we first started talking, I told you about them should statements? That's what you're doing, compadre. Just remember that them shoulds are yours.
I can do that, Loxy.
Yes. I must be frustrating to you, Sam. I invoke the same delusions over and over again.
Pull out my trusty massage tools and be like, okay, let's work out some knots. You know, let's work some knots out of your body, and then I'm going to work a knot into your body. Do not write a werewolf sex novel just to use that single line.
Hey, come on, Doc. You should be proud of yourself.
I agree.
You know what the difference is between you and vampires who never improve themselves? You're here. You've made a commitment to getting your head on straight. And you're getting there, my friend.
Yeah, it is a shame it's been taken off the NDIS. That's a really valuable, like sex work is a really valuable part of disability care. Right? And I wish it was back there. That's made me indignantly mad. You know. Unfortunately, costs of managing a medical condition are not tax deductible unless it relates to your work. Now, there's an idea.
Already you're making some big changes and investing in yourself. I can see it. So let's cut Dr. Drain a break. How about it, amigo? He doesn't need the weight of the world on him.
Whoa there, Dr. Drain.
There's only one thing he should do, and that's have a little understanding and empathy for himself. You get me?
We have said that several times to Dr. Drain, and much like real therapy, it's something that bears repeating.
Yes, I get you. Very well. I shall try to keep a clear head.
I was so mad earlier today. So mad.
And I will arrange to drink some real blood. There's plenty of it in the lab. I shall just liberate some of it.
Good man. We'll talk about how it's gone next month, all right?
Indeed. Until then, Sam. And thank you for your patience.
You're welcome.
I ain't got nothing but time, amigo. You can thank me by being patient with yourself.
Whoa.
All the same, you have my thanks. I shall see you in a few weeks then. Farewell.
Farewell.
Well done indeed, Samuel. I think we are starting to see a new version of the good doctor in the making.
All right.
I hope you're right, boss. That fella's awful hard on himself.
That is normal, my friend. Being a vampire takes a lot of self-acceptance. He is only taking his first steps in discovering this.
Yeah, fair enough. It took other people forgiving me for me to forgive myself.
And now you pass on this gift of compassion to Dr. Drain. Now, Samuel, the evening is still young. See what the night has to offer downstairs.
That sounds good, Andy.
Rest in peace, my friend.
All right. That feels good. Feels good to make some real progress. Good job, Dr. Drain. Good job, Sam. Good job, chat.
I always come out of the doc
Jimbles.
sessions feeling dumber than ever.
Session 3 with Dr. Drain. Great session with the doc tonight. Sometimes his being a big old nerd can be a real help. He's looking at his problem more rationally now. Likes to blame Lord Lourdes for his more animal needs. That is, he denies his own needs and Lourdes fulfills them. He has a lot of identity tied up in being a rational scientist. Wants to transcend being a vampire. Must drink real blood. I encourage the doctor to drink some real blood. I think his head ain't clear because he's starving. I think he gets it as biology thing.
I'll check in with Crimson. She's always got some bartender's wisdom to share.
I mean, I hope so.
Howdy, Crimson. Looks like a nice crowd tonight.
They're always a nice crowd, cowboy. We like to maintain an asshole-free zone.
I'll try not to be an asshole then.
Only metaphorical assholes, right?
I'm not worried about you, cowboy. You had a session tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, with the doctor fella. We had a hard talk about what being a vampire means. He's having a hard time coming to terms with it, even after 400 years.
I can understand that. I've stopped aging for the last 20 years and don't know how I feel about it yet.
You're not even dead.
How do you think it went with him?
I think we're finally getting somewhere, actually. It's funny, a lot of vampires forget they're human, but he keeps forgetting he's a vampire. But just like we can't opt out of being human, we can't opt out of being vampires either.
They did say asshole free zone, and I'm like, hopefully only metaphorical assholes.
Must have been a hard talk, cowboy. I sometimes wonder what I am. Staying the same age, drinking Andy's blood to live.
Yeah, comrade, that's a good point. What about client-patient confidentiality? Patient confidentiality.
Don't get me wrong. I like not being dead, but I still feel like I'm living on borrowed time.
Yeah, and also all of us are watching these therapy sessions. We should be ashamed.
Is this a good time to ask why you don't
Oh,
just join
right.
the dark side? It ain't that bad being dead.
Sorry, Alexi. It's a good point.
I'm just not sure what I'd do with forever, you know? Eternity's a long time.
Yeah, I think a lot of us vampires can't answer that question either. And I don't think there's one answer anyway.
There you go. So I guess I'll keep putting off the question.
Lol.
But nobody's rushing you, Crimson.
You kinda are. A little bit. Damn it.
You think I'd let anyone? But thanks for listening, cowboy. Now why don't you go mingle?
I hope we see
There's a new fella in the kink room who's very interested to meet you.
A new fella,
I
eh?
guess I'll go be social then. Thanks, Crimson.
Hello there.
Wait a sec, that ain't.
Greetings, my child.
That is also Matt Mercer.
Keep your distance, amigo. I know our kind ain't had good history, but I ain't in the mood for an exorcism or nothing.
Ah, my child of the dark. If I were to exorcise you, nothing would be left when I was done. Only the good Lord is free of sin. We are all children of darkness.
Holy smokes, what Bible have you been reading?
I know my scripture, my son. However, I am by scripture and dark metal ordained, not by any church of man.
Who is this character? This is awesome.
So, you're some kind of freelance priest?
Freelance priest ghoul. Excellent NPC that you can have in your vampire game.
Yes, I suppose I am.
I'm ordained by
It is the
black
only
metal.
way I can give succor to those who need it most.
And I believe you want some sucker?
So I gotta ask, seeing as we're in a kink room, what kind of sucker are we talking about?
I follow in the path of the Lord. I share my body, and I share my blood.
Exactly, comrade.
Ain't this a little blasphemous for your kind?
To whom, my child? God is in everything, including you, sweet vampire. Can God blaspheme against himself? I merely wish to give comfort to those who live in darkness. And so, I choose to live in darkness with them. Come, my son. I shall give succor to you.
Literally the most annoying person to the church of the Lancia and Sanctum.
Well, alright. Maybe if you stop calling it that.
This is an Irish black metal priest.
Thou shalt not want, my son. Are you comforted?
Yeah, I guess I am.
I know those of my faith have hunted your kind. Perhaps we fear our own sin, so we seek the sins of others.
Yeah, sin eaters, right?
I seek only the Lord in everything. As do we all, whether we know it or not.
You ain't wrong, I suppose. Hey, a little awkward, but what's your name, fella?
I am Kieran. It means little dark one. The night always did call to me.
Well, Kieran, I'm Sam, and I appreciate the blood, but I'm gonna turn in. A little sleepy now.
Go with God, my child of the night.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
A fine evening to you, Samuel. Are you ready for tonight's session with Senora Teste?
He is, but it's break time for us, baby. Time to go stand up, stretch yourself, treat that body well. It is what is enabling you to watch this lovely, lovely, lovely stream. And we are all having an excellent time, so I sincerely hope you do too. I asked chat to take the advantage of not having Jimbles distracting you and talk about your sessions at Fenner. How did it go? If you were there. If not, right? What information do you want to share about it? I say poking specifically at Emma Stitches, who has a cool thing, an achievement to share. I'm not taking that away from her. Poke, 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 my love. All right, break time. Be good. Something about Cleric in that moment was like, she's not kidding. When she says, I'm going to kill someone. Like, you're not kidding. You're not kidding, are you, babe? Let's go check up on you in a minute. Let's just continue finishing this conversation with the people I'm with, and then let's say hi. It was worth it, too. So, tonight's cocktail is beer. This is Californication. It has 2 bears fucking on it. It's a West Coast IPA. Head's a little light. It's alright. Sleepies, how dare they, right? Oh, let's scroll up and take a look. Yeah, good job, Emma. She went through her con experience, and it was very good. Like, we should all be very pleased. The Diptych Trophy. I love the extra hoppy once in a while. It's pretty lovely. The head's a little light, sure. Could use a heavier pull to get it off. Double IPA is also nice. I like the hoppy once in a while. Relatively recently, I was just on a sour kick. Like, everything I wanted, only sour. And then even before that, and even closer to now, I just only wanted cider. Strong ciders, dark ciders, interesting ciders, boring ciders, just give it to me. Whatever they are, okay? And, oh wow, break isn't even officially over. You got me back early, girls, because I was excited to talk about Emma's excellent Diptych Trophy. The Diptych Trophy, it's not our best games. Neither is the Triptych. It is just supposed to be, and even the phrase showcase, which is what I've lent on a lot, is Joe's like, I don't really like it, and he's a Wrangler too, so that's fine. Diptych. Well, like, that's also part of the call. Cleric, not a bad idea, as long as you can get the shields off it so we have the historical context. But what it actually is just, if we're looking for innovation and quality, right? And if you play the 3 games in the Triptych, which are generally innovation and quality, that's what it's supposed to be, you... Socks, El President. If you enter those games as a 5-person team and play all 3, you are in the running to be considered the winning team, right? Convinced, there you go. And yet you typed socks. Right? And so you're supposed to be like, how well can you get into character, keep the game rolling, and tell a interesting story with it, right? And it's pretentious and it's artistic, and it makes an artistic personal endeavor into something that you can like compete with. But in the end, since you don't see other people's performances, the people who judge are the GMs, and they judge as a unit, like a group of 3 Triptych GMs. The Diptych is the same, but someone's nicked one. So it's a 2-person game, a 2-game collection where the games are intentionally funny. So it's less pretentious art shit and more how funny can you be under certain constraints in a 3-hour period for 2 games. And like, I love them. I love them so much. They mean so much to me, and it's really impressive. And Emma's team won the Diptych. Please do, Luxie. And like, that was fantastic. I love seeing it. Again, like, the beginning of my awards speech is like, as a player, I love awards. I love to see other people succeed. I get a lot of compassionate joy when I see people succeed. It's fantastic. As GM, I hate having to narrow down and give awards to people because there were amazing people who did amazing characterizations and was absolutely fantastic, right? And it's not that some of them were better, but because like more memorable or harder to narrow down to an individual point. Because I couldn't really put in, hey, Cleric, it's really funny watching you interact with the actual real life girlfriend as her sad ex. Like, that's beautiful and amazing, but that's like the point of the game. You know, you just did great. but I can say, hey, it's really funny, cleric, that you brought your Oh, that's good. Yeah, that would be David is known by Druid in our stream. He's not frequently here, but when he is, we treasure his experience and presence. Innocent food fight into a bloodbath. I was desperately hoping that we would be able to turn that cooking competition real, and I would burn my once per game fate power to win the cooking competition, which would be completely pointless. But again, it's a diptych. Fucking around, absolutely on the cards. All right, let's play more Vampire Therapist. Anyway, like, we're going to talk about teams and scheduling a lot, and one of the things that I was really excited to hear that's a potential that I'm really glad that members of the committee agree with me, because we're in alignment even if we didn't discuss it, was like, we recognize that people need to sign up with their friends. And I had to bring up the point that it's scary to attend a con, right? But if you can turn up with like 2 or 3 or even 4 people, let's say 3 is probably the highest, to play a couple of games, like play a few games with the people you trust and have a good time with it, it's easier to get hooked in. And a really big draw is Valcondrius, screen name, he dragged me to Founder the first year, and he was like, I'll do all of your signups, you tell me what games you're into, I'll handle the rest of it, I'll arrange the team. And for a few of our games, it was all 5. But for everything else that signed up, it was generally I had 1 or 2 friends the whole time, and I met everyone else at the con by introducing myself to them in small chunks, and that was just fantastic. Also didn't help that like the 2nd or 3rd session I went into, right? Someone was breastfeeding their child, and I thought, oh my god, this con walks the walk. Women are allowed to participate. They're not shut out of this process because they have childcare responsibilities. They're able to still engage as a GM. One of the things I did this year was reach out to that person and a few other people who hadn't submitted a game in some time and say, hey, we really loved your voice. If you have time and space and energy and would like to submit something this year, we'd love to see it. You don't have to. This is no obligation. I just wanted you to know that people think of you fondly and you have a place here. And some of the people were like, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't have time. And that person came back and she ran a game. It was the first time in 11 years, she said. And in the time where she was like raising her child, the second one, I had my own. And he was at the con. Baby K was there for at least part of it. And so we just talked. Communities, baby. Time passing, and it's just worth it. Anyway, so that's why I'm like, hey, comrade, I know you're probably not like super interested in getting as invested as I am. But can I point it? Is he Feldspar? He's good, he turns up, he has a good time, he doesn't let it take over his entire life and is not as obsessed. So maybe he's a better example, right? And it was amazing, right? That game, I didn't play it on purpose because it's like the traumatic issues of being a parent. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. No. I'm so glad it's here. I'll die. Ah, fuck, he's got me there. Golem King? Yeah? Golem King? Not a theater kid. Enjoys a good game every now and then. I don't want to say like, I'll get you, you'll do it, because that's only going to get your hackles up, right? I don't want that. What I'm saying is that I'll send the game list, and if something looks interesting, right, and you're like, I'd like to play with that, I want to see what that's like, I'll get you in. And I'll get you in with people who trust you. And you trust. It's probably more important. And, right, let me put it this way as well. I might see him in a couple of weekends, which will be great. And, even better, I've got an even bigger draw, right? I just need to wait until we've dragged Leona down. That'll get you.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're making some good progress.
I will, Leona, no worries.
That is wonderful. Remember, though, that the road to inner peace is not a straight line.
True enough. I like to say I didn't make my path. Nature did.
I was under the impression you'd very much like to be brought between us. I mean, into this.
Samuel, you have the makings of a poet.
Oh, I meant it more literally. When I was walking in the woods, I just walked where the land led me.
You need a target for Bonk.
But you see, this is a wonderful metaphor. If there is a valley between two mountains, that is the path nature takes us on. We often choose to climb the mountain instead when the easier path is made for us. Your experience guides your intuition more than you might expect, my friend.
Any chance you played the Silent Hill remake, comrade?
Guess it's that peasant wisdom the Senora mentions.
That's the spirit.
Be careful with the labeling, my friend.
I didn't mean it in a bad way. I ain't ashamed of being a peasant. I'm just folks, as we like to say.
You're just folks?
Are you prepared for your session with her?
Fuck. The controller has paddles on the back. I don't know what they're mapped to. This one turns off the UI.
Yeah, I think
This
with our
one
progress, there
progresses
might be
it.
some other distortions to focus on. Let me think.
Yeah, I knew it was from Resident Evil. It just, like, spurred the thought. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure you'd like it. Bring things into a Leona? Oh my. Yeah, I did get the Pro Controller. It's a birthday present from Emma Stitches, and I love it so much. I was very brave, and I literally wrote down something I'd like. It's very expensive, and I love it. I then got an adapter, which did not come with for some fucking reason, but I set it up, and now my computer has it wireless, and I love it. I love it so much. My old controller did such a great job for like 5 years, and then left the stick, stopped working. It wouldn't go forward. So, as like consistently, and that made Elden Ring real fucking hard. And now I've got this lovely, smooth, gentle, excellent feeling, light but still heft in the right ways. Oh, and wireless is great. I lean back. My computer doesn't have a Bluetooth receiver. The laptop does, but my computer doesn't. My wireless keyboard uses a proprietary thing. It's quite literally not. It's a hardware issue. And also, I solved it. They don't sell the adapters anymore either, and I still got one. I'm a genius. Emotional reasoning, over generalization. She needs should, and she also needs always right, which is funny because we used a couple of those last time, but man, they are in my
Locked and loaded.
locked and loaded deck. I wish we could have 6. That just makes much more sense.
The people of your country have so many colorful phrases having to do with firearms. I do not understand the obsession.
Whoops.
I can't explain it neither.
I shall leave you alone with the Senora, Samuel.
And bat transition.
Howdy, Senora. Good to see you tonight.
You are looking forward to seeing me.
Uh-oh.
Well, sure I was. You're an interesting person, Senora. It's a privilege to get to know you.
I suppose you have learned something of manners yourself. I thought a lot about the things we talked about last time, you know.
Oh, yeah? What about exactly?
About how foolish I was for wasting my time for so long fighting against reality.
Well, that's emotional reasoning. It's also labeling. You're not foolish.
A woman so learned and accomplished was probably never ineffective or foolish, don't you think, Samuel?
About how foolish I was for
A woman so learned and
about how foolish I
Now, hold on, Senora. Maybe you
All
were
right.
fighting reality some, but that doesn't mean you were wasting your time. That fighting with reality is just part of what makes you human. It's your experience. Your journey that you're learning from.
But if the aim was to control my family, I failed to achieve that aim.
Yeah, but that's real all-or-nothing aim, Senora.
There you
It's
go.
easy to fail when the conditions for winning are so narrow, right?
It's that thing again where we don't know what Sam is going to say, so the correct
Yes,
fallacy is not always
you are,
obvious.
of course, correct. Would that I had listened to the simpletons in my life earlier.
Well, I'm glad you've been doing some thinking. You were putting so much pressure on yourself to be the one keeping your family going. I can tell how much it was weighing on you.
I spent so long trying to fix them, trying to transform them into something that they were not. May I talk to you about my ex-husband, Sam?
Yes.
Of course you can. I know he gave you a lot of grief.
He hurt me deeply, in so very many ways. He was the start of all my delusions because I thought I could fix him. I thought Frankie was the way he was because I was not an ideal wife. That perhaps he would have been faithful if I had been as beautiful or fertile as a Medici. I know I have been arguing with reality, as you have said, but the idea of a fruitful marriage, sanctified by God, this was the only reality I had.
I don't feel like I've recently chosen everything I need to hit every fallacy.
But that reality did not match with mine. God could not have blessed both our marriage and riddled Frankie's penis with French diseases.
French diseases?
We used to call syphilis the malfrance.
That's a little mean. Oh, that reminds me. Actually, an update that I wanted to provide to Leona. And hey, she's here. Hey, Leona, language drops is good. It is fitting the itch for Duolingo really well. The quick sort of small sections of play, reinforcing language acquisition, the gamifying it, it's going fucking great. So far, the only issues I've had is that I can't use it as much as I'd like because it doesn't have a number of errors, like lives lost. It's got time limits. So I play it intensely for 5 minutes and it goes, "You're done, buddy. Come back in 10 hours. And as a sales pitch, that's infuriating and very successful. God damn. They're nearly getting me. If I keep up a streak of 20 days, I'm going for it. I'll pay for a month minimum. And we're up to 7, so pretty good.
Diseases don't belong to any nationality. You sound like a certain politician from back home.
Do not insult me. Have I not suffered enough with my husband's disgusting malady?
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Okay, yeah, I may need to clip that. Clip, 2 hours in. That's so good. Fuck, I gotta get a notepad. That's so good. Yeah, you did great finding it for me. That was a very good. Oh my god. I didn't even consider it. Oh, it's like I have screenings booked. They always come up fine. Whoops.
It was a painful lie to live. I could only conclude from my sorrow that God was testing me. Endlessly.
Again, Senora, going back to where we started. You were you, and Frankie was Frankie. Your sorrow was natural. If you mix fire and gunpowder, there's always going to be an explosion, and it ain't God or fate that's causing it.
Yeah, I also love that it has sections on like, here's useful information you should know before you attend a French protest or play board games. That's above my level, but fucking awesome. Cleric's been real sweet tonight. Imagine the immediate relief and release of potentially a year's worth of strain has done good work. Now all she needs is a good night's sleep.
I suppose it is true. I was merely unlucky enough to be an eligible duchess to a most ineligible duke.
I think this just needs a little reframing. I know you were dealt a rough hand, but it doesn't necessarily mean you were being tested. Sometimes we just gotta make do with the hand we got. What I'm suggesting is that then and now, a radical acceptance approach could have helped you.
Ooh.
What do you mean?
I told you off for that, and I stand by the decision.
You could have had some sort of secret arrangement. That was pretty common back then, right?
I'm not suggesting that the very godly Italian signora set up a polyamorous relationship several hundred years ago.
Oh, we did have a secret arrangement. The arrangement was that he kept secrets from me and I pretended not to know about them.
Had you ever considered talking about it?
I could not. You do not know what it was like back then. A woman, even one such as I, was always subject to her husband.
That's actually kind of similar to how it was in Sam's day.
I did not have a say in his affairs. I had to play the part of the good wife and mother.
I'm not going to pretend that all societies in the past were like that and we've moved on a linear scale to more freedom. Past, less freedom. Future, more freedom. That's not how things work. But we know that especially places in the Old West are comparative to Renaissance Italy.
You must understand, I only earned my significant power by playing the societal game.
And the most traditionally masked thing I'm going to say all night, beer is nice. Anyway.
But he knew you were aware of his indiscretions, didn't he?
Should have cut off his syphilitic penis.
It was hard to deny when he approached me with that rotten thing between his
No.
legs.
No one said it wasn't. I'm just literally enjoying this beer in a gamer glass, which is cider.
So why not bring the issue out in the open?
He would have become angry, I am sure. Perhaps he would have beaten me and taken away the privileges I had worked so hard to earn.
Cleric, you're on a roll. Good, continue. I highly encourage it.
Perhaps it is pointless to tread over the past again and again. What has happened has happened. It has been nearly 5 centuries. I should not let the past haunt me so.
Should? It's your past. It's your history. It influences who you are now. Doesn't control you entirely, but it's part of your experience.
It's a hard thing, Senora. But no matter how old we get, the stuff that happened to us when we were alive is the stuff that makes us who we are. To think you should get over it ain't being fair to yourself, and it's a challenge you created. Nobody expects you to get over your past. Heck, anyone who would have thought that's long dead now.
There is truth in what you speak. My father and mother, my husband, the Pope, even the Holy Roman Emperor, they are all very long gone.
We got a new pope.
If I am true, Sam, I am still very angry about all the lies I was told. I may be harboring some resentment.
And that's a thing to, examine. It's a good thing to uncover. So let's think about that.
You don't say.
You will understand when I tell you of Frankie's greatest cruelty. I will tell you that the man, for all his fighting spirit, had very weak sperm, for he could not sprout a male seed in my womb. My first child was a girl. I could not have been more embarrassed.
Well,
Or so I
that's
thought,
mean.
until I had my second child, who was also a girl. I will tell you, Sam, I was a young woman in mourning. I did not emerge from my chambers for weeks.
Ugh.
The next time, finally, I had a boy, my beautiful Federico. He was such a charming child. He would entertain me so with his clownish behavior.
See, here we may be tempted to, correct a client on their sexism, but that's not going to help them move forward. let's focus on them. What do they need? How do we get them to deal with the problem and help with the problem that they came to us with?
May I show you a picture, Sam?
Well, sure, let's take a look.
Look at him. Isn't he beautiful? He could have been a movie star or a model today, don't you think?
Sure.
Admit it, he is the most handsome boy who ever walked this cursed earth.
Emotional reasoning.
Why am I asking you? What do you know of beauty? Anyway, I gave all of myself to him, all my guidance, all my wisdom, and all of my love. Everyone said, you are doting on him. Give him some air. How dare they tell me my business? I am Isabella d'Este. I know what is right.
Senora, I'm sure you knew what was best for your son, but ain't it possible that those people might have been able to help you? It's lonely work when you feel like you can't listen to anyone else.
That's a damn good point. Actually, I think that's worth examining, and I may even repeat that further in my life, because that's a hell of a thing to say. It's lonely work when you feel like you can't listen to anyone else. If nobody else is correct because you are always right, it means that you are the only person who can be right, and you can't take advice. That's so stressful. God damn.
Are you telling me how I should have raised my son?
No.
I got a better sense of self-preservation than that, Senora. But you gotta admit, this Nosferatu thinking of being always right is pretty exhausting, ain't it?
Oh, that is true. And as it turned out, pointless.
And that's good advice that I'd give to even people I care about, you know? Like, hey, it is a lot of effort to be the only person who knows the correct thing. And that's even if you're 100% correct all the time. And I know you don't believe you're 100% correct all the time, you know? You're not crazy. You're not irrational here. Even if, that's still so much work. That's exhausting.
It did not matter in the end. Frankie, in his supreme foolishness, managed to get himself captured by the French.
Yeah, I'd say including myself, but I think I need other people to tap me on the shoulder and tell me when I'm exhibiting the logical fallacy that makes me believe I'm always right. I'm not going to say I'm immune to it, because no, but I don't think it's one of the core ones someone would use to describe a Jimbles.
He ransomed himself out of prison with something more precious than all the gold in Venezia, more valuable than the Pope's seat.
The Pope's virginity, got it.
He sold my son, my beautiful Federico.
Holy shit.
Dang, that must have been devastating, Senora. I can't imagine how painful that must have been.
No, you cannot. For you will never be a mother to a son so beautiful, so intelligent, and so pure. But that was not the end of my pain. It was not enough to take my son away.
Holy shit, Violets, I think you're entirely correct. God damn. What are the chances that someone is always incorrect? Now, maybe that ties in particularly well with Cleric Bard in the sense to tap me on the shoulder when I'm like exhibiting the idea that my judgment is always incorrect. This game's confronting. Especially because chat's here.
Not content to merely break me, the French, as always, needed to corrupt.
Overgeneralization or emotional reasoning? I think overgeneralization.
What do you mean the French always needed to corrupt?
Violence is often here to call me out, but generally for the betterment of my own mental and physical health. So, like, you know, worth it. Very similar with beloved wife, Emma Stitches, indeed. That's function. That's one of the benefits of being closely attached to people, is that they can make you a better person. Make you enjoy life more. How good's that, right?
They are a debauched people. I know what they are like.
Why do you think I'm learning French?
Senora, you're too smart to judge an entire group of people based on an icky sample.
Too smart to be racist. What are you talking about?
Besides, we're vampires. What the hell does it mean to be French or Italian after a century? All the people that made France French back then are dead now.
And, for example, Germany wasn't even, like, solidified as a nation until slightly before World War One. Like, the things you think of as... You probably think that, like, southern Italy isn't really Italian.
Yes, of course I am aware. I speak out of anger and hurt.
Yeah.
I figured. But honest heads make for honest hearts, I like to say. What did the French do to your son?
They sent my sweet Federico to a den of filth, a place where chastity went to die, straight to the crossroads of Sodom and Gomorrah.
He became an actor.
They sent him to the Vatican.
Wait, what? That's even fucking funnier.
The Vatican? Seems like that'd be a pretty boring place for a boy to spend time.
Were they, comrade? I had no idea, but I guess that makes sense, right? I was drinking like they sent him to become an actor. He was debauched or something. No, they sent him to the Vatican instead.
This was Rodrigo Borgia's Vatican. It was a city of prostitutes and perverts, and he was their mayor.
I mean, yeah, alright, good point. The Bonfire of the Vanities was indeed a thing. Savonarola did have maybe a third of a point. He says, leaning on his Assassin's Creed 2 knowledge,
My poor Federico. He was a boy of a certain age. I could not have prepared him for the temptations he encountered. When he finally returned to me, he was no longer Isabella d'Este's child. He was the child of Francesco Gonzaga, an experienced whoremonger in his own right.
That fantastic cheese.
I am a man now, mother, he would say. I do not have to listen to you.
That sounds like a teenager has been given back to you.
And indeed, he did not. Which is why he died of syphilis, just like his depraved father. He did not even have the courtesy to wait until I was dead.
I did know it was not exactly correct, but it would be close enough to allow people to be like, darling, no. And then we get a second joke out of it, which is great. I'm sorry, I thought Gorgonzola was close by, I smelled it. But instead it was just a Manoir de Kinkies pear cider that I poured entirely down the drain. Wow, comrade, coming out swinging. Got cheese opinions in this here stream.
Now do you understand why I prefer the illusion of truth and beauty I try to bring to art? My mother told me when my marriage was young, Isabella, you must pretend that all is as it should be. The truth is dark, but you must maintain your own.
Don't you love just the hint of generational trauma creeping in? Hey, yep. Married life is gonna suck, by the way. Just pretend it's great. Jesus Christ. They don't just taste like rot. They taste like extra strong cheese. Because cheese is, as Stephen Fry once said, milk that's gone off big time style. Yeah, alright, yeah, Violets, I'll get you on that one. But Violets, you also don't like avocados or eggs, so maybe you should be discounted from this conversation. Oh, I've been outvoted. Team Blue Cheese has lost. Don't put blue cheese in salad. It overpowers the whole thing. What the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway. I don't think Violets thinks there is anything wrong with avocados. I think they just texturally or taste like not with it. Thank you, Cleric. We'll enjoy it. We'll open the blue cheese packet on the other side of the room and eat it like goblins, like gently smearing it onto crackers, hunched over, like, enjoy, it's so good. And they'll be like, wow, you guys smell terrible. And be like, yes, smells bad, but tastes so good. You know, we'll enjoy it. Anyway.
I hate to say it, Senora, but I think your mama was spouting a few should statements of her own. Keeping up that illusion must have been draining.
You know, with this new layout, it'd be even easier to make the vertical videos that TikTok would enjoy, and I could post that directly to TikTok via Twitch, and then I will get famous for saying things like, yes, blue cheese, it's extra delicious. Which doesn't reflect at all what we do here. Oh, no.
That is why I tried to create my own illusions. If I depicted love and chastity in their ideal form, I could make that illusion come true.
Willow, I would love that. I need to have a couple of chats with some individual people first, but then, yeah, absolutely, I would chase your beloved's neck. What do you mean?
Well, Senora, if anyone were strong enough to change the world's morality, it might be you. But I think you know the truth is that you don't have that kind of control.
I feel like
No one
Comrade's
does.
just saying no because he'd love to join in but can't because it's blue cheese.
Then why am I here, Sam? Why are any of us here? Are we here to eat, sleep, fornicate, and die?
And we appreciate it. Good job, Willow.
I know a few folk who might say that's why we're here. It's one of them existential questions, ain't it?
Yeah, I'm also not a food kink person.
Here's my take, Senora.
I do like-
think you're here to be you.
Having it in the middle, like that's good. Like have a break, pull out chicken wing or something, have a little dip in sauce, get back on with it. Like that's good fun.
I certainly hope you have something more intelligent to contribute than that.
I don't really. Here's the thing,
At least
Senora.
once, comrade.
None of us is going to change the world overnight, or even in a millennium of nights. But our being here, being ourselves, swings the pendulum in a whole bunch of unknowable ways.
Because Isabella, that's exactly right. You can't control the whole world by having a beautiful illusion. You can only control yourself. And if you like who you are at the end of it, then maybe it was worthwhile, right? Maybe you need to take pleasure in the art that you helped create and not be sad that the art you helped create didn't fix everything.
That is a dark interpretation of reality. Are we truly so powerless?
What I'm saying, Senora, is not that we're powerless. I'm just saying we ain't going to change the world on our own.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to buy what we're selling, but some people are going to get it. People are still out there talking about the art you brought to the world.
Yeah.
Maybe fellas like me don't know who you are, and I bet that nasty pope from your time wasn't your biggest fan.
Does anyone remember the chestnuts? I'm just going to Google chestnuts Pope. I believe it was also... Yeah, there you go. Papal Palace in Rome by Cesare Borgia. Oh, it was like son of Pope Alexander VI. Anyway. Hup. Jimbles, why did you post it there? That's not very useful. Oh, you don't think that's very useful? I agree. You know, if you wanted to get links, you should get them from the Discord server. And how do you get to the Discord server? Type !class in a chat, and then you'll get a link via Streamlabs. So if your DMs are open, you can access our Discord server and you can hang out with us. We're so cool. You get information about Fenner, you get to watch my entire development process, you get a horny posting channel that Jimbles has got to like manually add people to because it's complicated, and you just get to hang out with a good group of very enjoyable people. I posted that in the wrong place. There you go. The Banquet of Chestnuts.
But you can't help but be an influence on people. Just not all people. Ain't that so?
Like, we finished Fenner, and like I'm hoping to finish my book at some point, and then we've got to start working on like the stream. So I get internet famous enough with several hundred people liking and subscribing every single stream, so that I quit my full-time job and just become an entertainer. And then I learned to hate that instead.
I do not know if that is enough for me, Sam.
Maybe I'll get a brand sponsorship deal from a very particular automobile manufacturer in China, and I can demand that they get me back my goddamn Aurora green car.
Well, here's what I think we should do, Senora. All them efforts of yours
This
are
is a
always
bit.
facing outward. How about we spend some time on you?
What do you mean?
Ooh.
I mean,
I did
let's
see that
work on
earlier,
the things
Lexi. It was
Isabella
very good.
D'Este likes. Forget about the rest of the world. What are you putting in your art that's for you and not for anyone else?
Thank you, comrade. I found the best way to do it is to manually allow people. It shouldn't. It definitely shouldn't. For some reason it does. Yeah, I agree, Violet. It's very unlikely, but, you know, if we're doing it for a bit, it's a good
It's
joke.
a little embarrassing.
That beer isn't that strong. Why is it in my head?
Hush. If you
I've had
must know,
food.
it is centaurs. I like centaurs.
Fuck yeah, babe. We can make that happen. All we need is a suit.
Hey, I ain't gonna judge. Sometimes I like horses better than people, too.
That's not what she meant.
Yes, well, they are pleasing to look at.
Hell yeah, they are. They got the best of both worlds.
Now, how about this, then? Why don't you pick up a brush and paint yourself up a centaur?
I have not attempted to paint for centuries.
Why not?
This is just for you, Senora. No expectations. How's that sound?
I cannot believe I revealed this thing to you.
Oh no, now you've got homework from your therapist. Welcome to the real world.
I'm glad you did. I'm a lucky fella. I get to know an Isabella this day no one else knows.
And no one else will know, or I will make you suffer.
Capiche?
You got a deal, Senora. I'm here to be supportive, that's all.
That's right, Loxy. Correct.
I hope that when you come back next month, we'll be having a nice conversation about you finding your muse.
I think you're correct, Cleric. Plus, maybe I used a lot of my emotional regulation and physical restraint not burning down a car dealership today. I was so mad. So mad. I said something I'd never say. And it wasn't a slur. It was a startling lack of commitment to the idea of prison abolition.
Yes.
Yeah, Willow's got a damn
Perhaps.
good point. Sam, are you going to go
Very
tell
well,
Crimson?
Sam. I do not understand your ways,
Oh,
but I cannot deny
also-
you have a certain untamed wisdom.
Remember that Andronakos is here, like listening in.
I shall attempt to paint a centaur.
A centaur.
This is not what I expected from therapy, but I shall do as you suggest. I shall see you in 4 weeks then. Arrivederci, Sam.
Like, I was making fun with Cleric saying that, haha, we have work tomorrow, but fucking hell, I have work tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, see you soon, Senora. Arrivederci.
Arrivederci. A couple of years ago, like several years, it was like the third Fenner where I was Dresden Files Queen Mab, as written by Druid. In a Dresden Files LARP, called What Do You Do With a Problem Like Dresden? Great fucking game, great fucking title. I didn't do a great job of playing Mab, but it was really hard to remove myself from her characterization, because it was one of the last few things I did that con, and I just kept thinking, I have to return to being, like, sure, a tech mentor, but still a service desk analyst in a call center solving problems for a particular government client. And just a couple of days ago, I was a goddamn fairy queen. And that, the steps between sucked ass, gotta tell you. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Cleric. When you're on call, you're quite responsible too. You're like, I'm not gonna leave the area in which I live, just so I can get to the person who needs assistance quickly, which I'm sure I appreciate, and would appreciate even more when I have some sort of medical emergency and someone is available on short term, because, you know, that's how the system works. But still, sometimes I've been like, you're on call, so that means you just don't drink alcohol when you're at your regular weekend actions? And you were like, no, dude. When you're on call in IT, even in incident management, it's just you don't get drunk and you carry your laptop everywhere. That's the only difference. And if nothing goes wrong, problem solved. It's very different when it comes to your particular profession, right?
Goodbye.
Well, well, Samuel, you never cease to impress. Centaurs.
I don't think you're supposed to know about
will.
that, boss.
I am 3,000 years old, my friend. Horse people are somewhere at the very tip of my kinky iceberg. It is already forgotten.
Excuse me while I just take a quick photo of that and then tag Silk. Somewhere at the very tip.
Well, the Signora's pretty embarrassed about it, so I'd appreciate it if you kept it to yourself.
Signora Deste is wise to put her faith in you, Samuel. I will gently remind you that relationships between therapists and clients are highly discouraged.
What? I'm not hitting on her, man. I'm not a centaur. I'm just a horse guy. Oh no, I see the problem.
Oh, come on, Andy. It ain't like that. Senora Deste is just...
Went to bed Monday night at Tuesday 1 p.m. so no early starts. El Presidente? Yeah, Tiffy your iceberg, exactly. What do you mean? El Presidente should not be in... Like... He should not be in contact. He was very clearly saying, I leave for a plane to Japan with 20, one of the two, students the next day after con. And everyone was like, what the fuck? And one particular person was like, did you ask for overtime? Because teachers aren't entitled to overtime at all. And that particular person works for the union. And she's priceless. Anyway. And Troll, of course.
You're messing with me.
Yes.
Of course I am. Unless...
Oh, I see. Good, because if you're suddenly flying to Japan and you haven't told us, what the fuck, cleric? Gotta go keep Willow company. We'll do awful things with servers.
All right, you know what? I'm going downstairs. I could use a drink.
Hell yeah.
Well earned, Samuel. Please, rest in peace.
And by we, I mean I'll be around and making off-color commentary and potentially adding ideas while Willow does the hard work. That's kind of how I like
Poor
it.
Senora. That lady's holding on to a lot of anger. Reminds me of myself as a young vampire. Pretty hot in here tonight. I think I'll get some air. Maybe I can get to know Bert a little better.
Nice.
Hey, Bert, how's the crowd tonight?
I wasn't wrong. Growls indifferently.
Same old, huh? So,
Talk about the city.
what do you think of Leipzig, Bert? Real fascinating architecture here.
Growls boredly.
Hey, not everyone's into architecture, I get it. So what do you do for fun here?
Grunts noncommittedly.
More of a homebody, I guess. Yeah, I'm a little introverted, too. Spent 90 years walking in the woods, you know.
Growls boredly.
Yeah, there's nothing I like better in nature. The trees, the plants, the animals. The cities just seem so dead at night.
Yawns.
I can tell I'm interrupting. Well, nice talking to you anyway, Bert. I'm gonna head inside.
Yeah, very reasonable, Willow.
Have fun, mate.
Thanks, Bert.
Hey, Crimson, how's the crowd?
Hey, cowboy. Bit busy tonight, but how'd your session go?
No, I think this lady's starting to realize what she can't control, which is a lot. She's still mad as hell about it, but I think we're getting closer to acceptance.
Huzzah!
I know how she feels, cowboy. I feel like I wasted years of my life in DC trying to make the world a better place.
Yeah, what brings that on?
But it sounds like you are making progress to me. She's got time to make her peace. That's what Andy says about you vampires.
Yeah, that's true. We can take 40 years or 400, but that's up to us.
What do you mean, you people?
In the meantime, I'll whip something up for a hot summer night.
It's like an excellent Cosmo.
What's this now?
Blood margarita. Figured a hot-blooded desperado like you could use something cold.
Summoning violence?
Oh, mighty kind of you, Crimson. I'll let you get back to work and take this up to my coffin for a quiet night.
Night, Sam.
Now, let's see. What'll help me reflect on the night? I think there's something Omar Khayyam once wrote that I can look up.
Hell yeah.
Or I could watch Buster Keaton almost get himself killed a bunch.
Read poetry. What if you're a vampire, comrade?
Well, one of my transcendentalist friends told me about this one. I ain't too good with poetry, but this piece always stuck with me.
I think I might have you out, Fox, with that one. What if vampire?
The moving finger writes, and having writ, moves on. Nor all thy piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all thy tears wash a word out of it.
Okay.
Funny how people in far-off places and times always had some similar perspectives. Omar's right. You can't change the past. Life moves forward. I think that's enough for one night. Better get me some shut-eye. Got the feeling my work's gonna get harder before it gets easier.
Blood orange margarita, yeah. Summoning of violets is often a good idea, especially when it comes to margarita
My
knowledge.
dear Samuel, greetings. How are you feeling tonight?
How are you feeling tonight?
Honestly, I'm feeling a little like a horse who's about to be ridden by a big old fella.
I am not certain I comprehend your meaning. Have you met a special someone, my friend?
Oh.
What? No, it ain't that. I mean, I'm feeling a little on edge. Edmund's coming in.
Aha, our actor friend. What about him has you nervous, Sam?
He's just a lot to deal with. I find myself a little drained after our sessions.
Ah, yes. Challenging the reality distortion fields of those with narcissistic tendencies is taxing.
I know, but if I'm here doing this therapist thing, I should help him one way or another.
Yeah.
Ah, remember your own distortions. You are under no obligation to help Edmund. If helping him drains you, remember that you do not have to aid him.
Fuck. Violets, nice work. Yeah, alright. Lexi reminded me of the drink I promised to make for her when she no longer had a child inside, and so that's a plan. I'll have to remember to do that soon. And since I have, until relatively recently, thought about it fondly multiple times, I think I'm going to have to make it for a few people on multiple occasions. I have an idea, but it's not mine to instigate, so I'll tap some people on the shoulder and see what happens.
Yeah, you're right. I still want to try, though. I want to see if I can help him.
I'm also going to forget, but I'll try not to, I swear.
I shall not stand in your way then. Have you an idea of what distortions he might be exhibiting tonight?
Leona looking politely, just trying to make sure that there are photos for whatever happens, whatever I'm tantalizingly teasing.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Personalization is correct. I think we should go score find the positive. Very emotional reasoning. Labeling and control fallacy.
I think that should cover it.
Yeah, I'm not being subtle about it. Everyone's going, oh, did he mean me? And I want you to know, yes. Yeah, I did mean you. You're very important to me.
I wish you peace and patience, Samuel. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, Andy.
Bat transition.
Edmund, amigo, how's it hanging?
To the left and most proudly, my dear boy.
Very good, comrade.
Indeed, tonight I sit before you victorious. Thy gentle prodding hath guided me back to the womb of creation.
Do I want you to spell that out for me?
The stage, good sir, the stage. For if all the world's a stage, then the stage is where humanity is born.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I guess that must be true. So what are you saying? You nabbed some kind of juicy role?
We told him to perform for
Not
himself.
just any role. Nay, I have been given the opportunity to once again subvert the audience's expectations.
I don't know if it's the same voice actor as Hedonism Bot, but it's certainly coming out of the same direction.
Though it was thy tender words that cleared the mists of doubt from my mind and reminded me that I belong to the stage, not to the audience.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, Eddie. Tell me all about it. What's been going on?
What's been going on?
Do you remember the advice you gave me when last we met?
Briley West is also Hedonism Bot? Nice work.
I told you to film yourself doing some acting, right? How'd that go?
I posted it on YouTube and people loved it. Again, we said it was the stage that made me important, but now I'm getting a lot of likes.
I did as you suggested. I set up a camera, and for no one but myself, I became the Dane.
Have you read, like, any recent play? No, nothing. Go on. It's fine.
Marmaduke?
Oh my god.
Hamlet, my dear boy, Hamlet. I watched the great Edmund Kean inhabit the bard's greatest role once again, and in him I saw humanity pure, naked, and true.
And then I jerked off watching myself act. It was the height of pleasure.
It was akin to pornography, albeit far more revealing. That Edmund Kean, I told myself, he and only he could produce something so beautiful.
All right, I was kidding. Also, hey chat, clip that.
Wait just a minute there, Eddie. You're an incredible actor. Everyone agrees on that. But it's a big world out there, and everyone's got their own experiences.
I didn't know that I was picking a fallacy. It looked like the game just paused there for a minute. We skipped a line of dialogue, and then I was like, also. Yeah, okay, cool. This is the correct one. Clip 24000. Yeah, like, I love the idea of just being able to tell chat, hey chat, clip that, but you're just not. We're not there yet. There aren't enough of you to just throw tasks at you. You need to be bigger and more famous for that to happen. The same way that if you're really famous, talented people want to engage with your material by themselves. And so you get fan art just for fun. And like that sounds great, right? I know that's excellent because it's happened. Loxy did it and it was great. It is also super annoying from a phone.
We all got capacity to do incredible things. It's a combination of luck, perseverance, and being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, and several of you are in bed and watching on your phone. And like, that's the place I want you to be, you know?
You ain't a great actor because you're Edmund Kean. You're a great actor because of the things that made you Edmund Kean.
You toy with the fates and flirt with pedantry, my dear boy.
Not fan art. You could clip something. You could also just chill and engage in chat because that has been and is and will be a lot of fun.
It is often
no
said
responsibilities
that an infinite
here.
number of monkeys with an infinite number of typewriters and infinite time could produce all the works of Shakespeare, but such a thing is infinitely unlikely.
I think you're just underestimating the idea of infinite.
If you will permit me to continue, to watch myself act without an audience was simply rapturous.
Yeah, not just the fan art from a while ago. There was also the cake. Like, that was also a hell of a thing that I ate over a couple of days. It's a pretty good effort. It's pretty good. Yeah. Sorry, I was fondly remembering cake.
I am not ashamed to admit that I did weep. I wept for the stage, that I deprived it of my greatness on account of my own misplaced dread.
Oh, that's a good point, Willow. I get it. Shakespeare was a monkey, and that's the cover-up.
I have been a cream-faced loon, a devout coward, and most religious in it. Why should Edmund Kean fear any audience?
Labeling.
Whoa, slow down there, Eddie. I don't know what the heck a cream-faced loon might be, but it don't sound too good.
A bird that didn't hear someone saying, I'm right there.
Think about the Edmund that showed up here 2 months ago. If I had hurled a bunch of insults at him, would that have motivated him in any way?
I suppose not. That lily-livered boy was not ready for the weight of truth. You were wise indeed to treat him gently.
That boy's you, Eddie. He's still in there, so be nice to him, all right?
Very well. Honeyed words entrap sweeter prey, do they not? You spoke truly. Edmund Kean bared his chest to all the slings and arrows of an unappreciative audience and was somehow surprised when they hit their mark. The Edmund Kean that you see before you is armored in love of the craft that no arrow may penetrate, and so casts aside the cloak of cowardice.
The two of you are on a roll, and it's very good. Penetrated partridge? No, that doesn't really work.
To think, I feared mortal directors. I feared the audition and the criticism that would come afterward.
No, not quite.
I feared the cast list, bereft of Edmund Kean.
Ooh, very good. We can't stop him.
But to you I give thanks. For can a mortal director know my brilliance? Nay, they're all clay-brained guts and mouldy rogues. Their disrespect for the craft makes fools of them.
Emotional, like, spotted it? No. For can a mortal director know my brilliance? Nay, they are all clay-brained guts. Really? All of them?
I believe Edmund's view of his critics may be a bit narrow. But to you, I give...
I think you're painting them directors with a broad brush, Eddie. I get that you've got more experience with acting than mortals, but all directors ain't the same.
That's right.
Hell, I'd even go so far as to say you could learn from some of them. They know they're gonna die, and that's perspective we vampires need sometimes.
Like I said, there are easier ways to get ketamine into Comrade.
Thou hast cut me to the quick, my friend. Perhaps some of what you say is true. However, I know in my damned soul that the stage is worse off without Edmund Kean, and nothing any mortal director can say will disabuse me of this. Ergo, I did ask myself, Edmund, what is an audition? Is it a trial to overcome? Is a director a god dispensing holy judgment? And I replied, Edmund, do not ask such foolish questions, the answers to which thou knowest well. An audition, my dear boy, is not an opportunity, but an invitation to display the craft before another.
That's more healthy.
So I told myself, why not act, dear boy? And so I did.
Wow. I don't know if you're I should encourage you responding to someone calling you a pheasant like that. Better than peasant, I guess.
So you did an audition, all right, that's great.
Very
Did you
good,
have fun
Lexi.
with it?
You speak so simply, my friend. Fun does not adequately describe the feeling one has when the muse takes over.
I know it's a joke. We're rolling with it. We're yes-anding, so you say yes, yes. That didn't work. You yes, please. Hummingbird. Hummingbird! God damn! God damn! I should propose.
It is transcendence, an affirmation of purpose, to condense humanity within oneself, if only for a moment. It is an orgasmic experience.
That sounds intense, Eddie. Having an orgasm in front of someone else is pretty brave.
This game was made for this chat.
Oh, but it is freeing. A true actor hides nothing. The director, she told me she had never witnessed such a thing in all her years, few as they were. I am certain that she thought to herself, is this Dionysus reborn? Why have the fates graced mine eyes with such depth of the human spirit?
You're certain, mind reading?
This time, my friend, I did not have to wait for a cast list at all. You are looking at a leading man once more.
Are you sure, or did they say, we'll call you, don't call us? 249, goddamn.
Hey, congratulations, Eddie. That's great. See, I knew you'd get your mojo back if you remembered what made you love the stage in the first place.
For this, I am eternally grateful, and indeed, I do have an eternity to be grateful.
To be grateful.
Now I can already hear the calls resounding through the theater. Keen, 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 give us Keen!
Yeah, but id Studio has been bought by, like, the different software developers, so...
You may want to pick a different name.
Nonsense! They will say Edmund Kean has returned and be none the wiser as to the accuracy of their statement.
No, really, a different... Okay.
So what's the big role, Eddie?
We get to the meat of it, unto the very sinew at last. They say that every story is a circle, that we return whence we came. So it is with
Was
me.
a Commander Keen reference.
'Twas tragedy that made me, tragedy that formed me, tragedy that raised me to glory, and tragedy that shall do so once more. I shall play the part of Pierrot. Pierrot, the clown who cried. Pierrot, the mask of the tragedy that is life.
I ain't familiar.
I feel like I should be familiar and I'm not. Z Feldspar, save me. Save me, Z Feldspar. Z Feldspar, please.
I believe you are. though you know a far inferior version, the one made famous by that ludicrous creature Grimaldi.
Grimaldi who?
Splud, my dear boy. Do you know nothing of late 18th century English theatre?
God's blood.
They must have skipped that subject in frontier school.
Yeah, we were too busy talking about rattlesnakes.
Grimaldi was the other influential actor in London. But whereas I drew out the soul and laid it bare on stage, Grimaldi, in comparison, was a clown, a jester, a funny man.
Now hold on there, Eddie. People have written plenty about what a great actor you are. Giving another actor nasty labels don't look good on you. They probably ain't accurate either.
That's right.
Oh, but my dear boy, Grimaldi was as the moon amidst the stars of jest, by whose pale light all subsequent mirth is but a reflection.
Fuck off.
He was the clown. So as you see, I cannot label one already so anointed.
Oh.
Oh, in that case, label away.
Grimaldi was an artist, like myself. But where my canvas was
Achievement.
the soul,
There ought
his
to be
was the
clowns.
retreat.
Defended a clown who didn't need help.
When I strode upon the stage, my audience saw all the acts of life play out, in all their woe and joy. Oh, but Joey Grimaldi, the great clown himself, could create bottom noises with his armpit.
Yeah, it sounds pretty great.
Yet whose name was on the lips of the adoring public? Not Keen's, no. Not the bard's emissary.
But they've already said that your name was on their lips as well. There's space for both of you.
Give us the farting clown, they cried. Give us Grimaldi.
Yeah.
So you see, my dear boy, for me to play the tragic clown Piero, this is my opportunity to take what Grimaldi stole from me.
Okay.
What did he steal?
He stole my audience.
Eddie, from what you've told me, I don't think you and this Grimaldi fella had the same audience.
Ding.
I don't think anyone showing up for a farting clown show and getting Ed Makin is going to be too happy, and it'd have nothing to do with you.
But if Grimaldi had not peddled his base filth, my audience would not have waned when it did. They would have been mine.
And if the sun didn't shine, we could go out during the day. Come on, Eddie, the world ain't waiting on you. Grimaldi had his audience and you had yours. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Perhaps, though I weep bitter tears to think the people so base. And I weep for myself, my dear boy.
I bet you do.
The riches and fame he received should have been mine, and would have been, had the fates not cursed me with his birth.
It's personalization again, buddy.
The fates cursed you with Grimaldi's birth? I don't think baby Grimaldi was thinking too much about you, my friend.
Yeah.
Well, no, he wasn't. He was 11 years my senior.
So maybe he was cursed with your birth then.
You delight in making me play the part of the fool, don't you?
The point I'm trying to make is that making things about Grimaldi versus Keen ain't doing you any favors.
There is some truth in your words. Why should I lower myself to his level? I am no flatulent jester. And mark my words, my boy. I shall cast Joseph Grimaldi from the Thespian Order. When I play Piero the Clown, Wikipedia shall forget all about that fool.
You sound very well, Leona. It's 10 minutes until we finish. That's a hell of an effort.
Just a sec there, Eddie. I'm afraid you don't have the power to make Wikipedia forget about anything.
Well, you can pout as much as you'd like, but at some point your body's going to make the decision for you. I think an important phrase is sleep wins. It will win. Maybe your sleep schedule doesn't match what we need in our current, working 9 to 5 model, but sleep will eventually win. If you're up late at night and you can't get to sleep and you're trying to force yourself, you can potentially take comfort in the idea that you will eventually sleep. You may be trying to hold on to it so tight that you can't quite sleep. That's it's not going to win. Yeah, it is great to have you. Cleric's right.
I mean, I can barely figure out how to use the damn thing. They get stuff wrong all the time, just like any history book. Can't stop that.
May they be thrice damned, then. Perhaps I shall simply become so rich and powerful that I shall buy it.
That's not a way to say, give in if you don't want to stay up for something really important that you can't get back. But, you won't miss much for going to sleep 9 minutes early. You may feel better in the morning by saying, I am listening to the signals my body is telling me, and I'm going to do that. Sleep tight, Della.
Wikipedia's free.
This is most fortuitous. I can purchase it immediately.
Eddie, I'm saying you can't control Wikipedia, and it ain't a good use of your efforts. The best thing you can do is focus on you, okay? That you can control.
Of course, you are correct. The force of my performance alone shall redefine the role of the clown. You see, my dear boy, I have already calculated my triumphant return to the stage.
Tell me about it.
Every move, every word, every expression shall be unassailable. You see, Edmund Kean is never wrong about matters of character.
Eddie, I ain't doubting that you're a master of your trade.
Croft.
Croft. But you can only control your own actions. You can't control how people react to them.
Why do you lay these troubles upon a mind finally untroubled? The stage awaits me, dear boy. Doubt is a poor companion for the thespian's journey I now embark upon.
I ain't trying to mess with your head, hombre. I'm just trying to prepare you to accept whatever response you get.
Then why not prepare me for glory? Why not prepare me for the perils of fame and admiration?
You're already doing that.
Indeed, I doubt our meetings will be necessary any longer.
Comrade, how dare you?
I must confess to some strong misgivings about you, therapist. There are times when we speak that I feel exposed, diminutive, and weak, and I can only conclude from those feelings that you are trying to hurt me.
I gotta push you on that, Eddie. You said it yourself. You're jumping from a feeling to reality. I am here to challenge you, yeah. But your feeling exposed is part of the process. Doesn't mean I'm trying to hurt you.
But there is truth in emotion, my dear boy. Perhaps not the whole truth, but emotions are the seeds from which truth doth grow.
He quite literally tried to gaslight Sam. I sincerely hope that I have no part of that final evolution. And if I do, then I hope and expect some people to deploy that smack Leona was talking about earlier.
And let me be straight with you. I ain't trying to hurt you, Eddie.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just trying to
Roxy.
make sure you're moving forward with a clear
Right.
head.
Then perhaps that is where we speak alien languages. As an actor, I must be led by feeling and intuition.
When you're on the stage.
I pity you, my dear boy, that such is beyond your grasp.
I got a heart, Eddie. I just try to know when it's lying to me.
Regardless, opening night is a month from now. I doubt you shall see me again, for I shall not need your services.
Oh boy.
The public thought they knew what a clown was. In a month's time, they will forget Grimaldi and Bozo, and only Keen's clown will remain.
You have more of an issue with Drain? Interesting. I wonder if you've, because I don't know if you've seen VODs, nor do you have to. You're checking in with us and having a good time, and that's all I really want. People enjoy themselves. You've seen his alter ego, right? Not Dr. Drain, but Lord Luridus.
Therefore, why should I
He's
need
funny.
you? When I have the public's love that I am due, what need will I have for a therapist?
Hold up, baby girl.
Hey, if you don't need me, I'm happy. There's lots of folks who can use my help.
I was hoping you would lament my loss more than that.
I know you would.
Of course I'd miss you, Eddie. You're as interesting a fella as they come. But if you don't need me, I've done my job pretty well.
I hope he comes back at some point, comrade, then I can show you.
Yes, well, I must admit, your suggestion of filming myself was rather brilliant, and I do owe you my thanks. Do you have any final words of wisdom for me then, dear boy? Theatre has lost its popularity because of my absence. When the public takes notice of Edmund Kean once again, how might I prepare myself?
I just want to remind you, Eddie, that even if you give the greatest performance of all time, people ain't waiting for you. Think about how you felt when you were acting for yourself and not for the audience. Your most important audience member is you, compadre.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. I like that a lot. Most important person you create art for is yourself.
Ever the nemesis of mirth art thou, Sam Walls. But there is a little wisdom in what you speak. I shall remember Edmund Kean. I suppose, then, that this is goodbye, dear boy.
You sure you don't want me to keep your session slot open for next month?
There is no need. As you are so eager to help others, please do so, and worry not for Edmund Kean.
I'm going to keep it open anyway.
Tell you what, I'll keep it open just this once. I'll take the night off if you don't show up. Sound good?
Then I beg you enjoy a night of simple peace. You shall not see me. I give you thanks, and please, send me a V-mail. I shall arrange theatre tickets for you if you are ever in London.
I'll do that, Eddie. You take care of yourself, you hear?
I shall be Edmund Kean's greatest advocate. Farewell, therapist. May fortune favor you as it has me.
This is not going to go well.
Adios, Eddie.
Well, Samuel, it seems you are down one client.
Yeah, I guess so. If he thinks he doesn't need me, I guess I'm doing something right.
You are unsure.
I don't know, Andy. I think that fella's got some more work to do, but he ain't ready to do it yet.
I believe you are correct, Samuel. I did warn you that this was likely to happen with our dear Edmund Kean.
Our dear Edmund Kean.
Do not consider it a failure of yours. Remember that we are all on our own journeys, and some of us need a little extra time to reach the next stage of that journey. Or in my case, a few thousand years. We cannot control the mind of any other.
Yeah, I suppose that's the way it's gotta be.
Go downstairs and have a drink to fate's whimsical turns. It is that which we cannot control that makes the world so rich and interesting.
Agreed.
All right, Andy, that sounds good right about now.
Go then, my friend. The night awaits. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. What a great fucking game. What a great fucking game. What a great way to showcase a little vampire lore. Have ourselves a little good
Well, that
time
was a
while we
weird
chat.
one. I guess it always is with Edmund. Half the time, I can't make heads or tails of what that feller's saying.
I guess that's it for Eddie. He quit therapy today. Guess I'll close out my notes. Eddie got cast and played as some famous clown he had a rivalry with back in the day. He's rekindled his love for acting, not just the audience. Still thinks everyone is waiting for him to light up the stage, obsessed with his own Wikipedia. I don't know how to feel about this one. I hope I'm wrong and that Eddie's gonna be fine, though. Actors, strange.
I'll go check in with Crimson and see if she's got any of her wisdom to share. How we doing tonight, Crimson?
The drinks are flowing and the blood's pumping. Can't ask for more than that. How are you, Sam?
Well, I had my first client graduate. They quit therapy today.
Congratulations, cowboy. Helped a vampire see the light, huh? How do you feel about it?
I swear this fella's just doubling down on the stuff that's making him unbalanced.
Yeah.
He thinks he's gonna make the whole world admire him. I'm afraid he ain't nearly born enough for mass appeal.
Yeah, they're gonna... Sorry, man. Your narcissism is not gonna be indulged by this.
Sorry to hear it,
Not
Sam.
forever.
I'm sure he
Calls
must
come
have
from the
gotten
inside of
something
the
out of
house.
talking to you, though.
Well, even if not, everyone loves what he's doing. At least he's doing what he loves.
Hey, I'd call that a win, cowboy. Not everyone gets to do what they love.
Sounds like you got some feelings about that.
All right, I'm gonna let you in on a big, dark secret. Maybe even darker than the fact that I drink blood.
Brace yourself, everyone.
I'll hold it with high honor, Crimson.
I liked being a lawyer.
Oh my god.
Oh, you're right. That is dark.
Oh, shut up. I was good, Sam. I fought the good fight, and I knew case law like the back of my hand. The law just moved too slowly for me in the end, and getting cancer made it seem meaningless. Now, I love this place, and I love Andy, but I know I wasn't born to bartend.
Couldn't you practice law in Germany?
You try learning German and tell me how it goes, Desperado.
Yeah. That's true. Oh, thanks, Emma.
Oh, come on. It ain't that hard. I've picked up some German already. Ich spreche Deutsch good.
Well, it is finish time, so let's not finish our conversation with good old Crimson. And instead, I'll go look after Baby K. Friendos, it has been a distinct pleasure to have all of you with me here tonight. And thank you very much for joining me for this post-phenomenon stream. Highly enjoyable. I hope you join me again this Sunday night where I don't have anything else on, so let's stream a game or two. What game? I don't know yet. I know. But we'll get to it pretty soon. Otherwise, my friends, again, thank you very much. Be kind to yourselves, take the lessons from Vampire Therapist to heart, and tell the people you love them very much. Good night, everyone.